Welcome back to the 31st Irish Open live from the 18-lane Leisureplex Bowling Centre in Stillorgan, Dublin, Ireland. My name's Dom Gall from TalkTenPin.net, and I will be your commentary for the squad. Well, not all the squad, because we're going to bring some guests in this time. Your featured pair, we've got Gavin Fox from Ireland, Greta Fassade from Norway, Robert Lind and Matt Hall. Thanks to everyone that's joined us so far. Hey, City Sophia. Hi, City. Are you okay? Thomas Galvin, Paul Edzer, Alison Taylor, Marcella Keogh, Martin Paulson. Hi, Martin, out there in Sweden. And Hadley Morgan. Are you up at Alsa or in the hotel, or are you staying at Chris's? A lot of the players here this week going up to Alsa for the Alsa Open. And probably a confidence boost as well, because the scores up there are usually quite high. Keep your comment and chat coming in. Steve Dalton's joined us, Steve Cannell, Mark Ellis, Cass Edwards, Gary Redpath, Bart van Kirkhoven, sorry. Paul Chandler, Richard Teese, Lee Biscuit, you alright? And with me as always is the impressive Simon Sheppers. Oh, you were yesterday. You bowled well yesterday.
Yeah, didn't expect it after the first game. 187 start. Yeah.
What surprised me was you finished strong with a 268.
Yeah.
You went through the block, and you had a couple of games where they were a bit lower, but you came strong at the end, which is usually a struggle at the end of the block.
187 to 12 start, and then 242, 256. Yeah, I hit 3 and 4. They were a mess. So 202, keep it all clean, keep away from the splits, and making your spares, and then finish up with 268.
Yeah, but you're 1367. 1367, so that's a good score. Hadley Morgan says, I can't strike enough to play at Alsa. You struck enough last night, though, didn't you? He won the block last night, didn't he? So the hot news is we've got the green screen working, so we'll be having the squad winner, if we can find out who it is, in the booth at the end. Have a chat with those. Probably Simonson or Chris Sloan, maybe.
Yeah, or probably.
Could be Thirlby. Could be Thirlby. Yeah, it could be any of them, really, to be fair. The pattern this year, I believe, is the same pattern it always is.
Bourbon
Street.
But only a different oil machine and different oil, so it's reacting a little bit longer and harder of the spot on the end. But
foxing the players a little bit at the moment, isn't it? You're getting into that first squad thinking you're going to score like you normally do, and then slightly different.
Everybody was saw the first squad with 1462 of Ellen, and everybody here we go again.
It looked like it were going to be high again, but 1460 is way out in front at the moment. But it's Slim 40, 50 pins behind.
Yeah, 13 she had, so
1370 with lady scratch, I think she had, and then the ladies bonus on top. Richie Brackett says, put brackets in place at Alsa, and Simmer will play every squad there. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the scores are at Alsa at the end. They're usually really high, aren't they? Didn't Sloan Ranger bowl back-to-back 300s a couple of years ago there?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
A couple of years ago. Last year or year before?
Last year, I think. Yeah.
But we're expecting some good bowling this week as well. A quality field as always. A few past champions in the field, including Tora Torgerson and Nico Tienpon. Paul Moore's on his way, to name but few. Hi to Brian Michael, Coach Michael out there in England. Thanks for joining us. We'll get a look at your boy Chris soon. I think he's down on 3 and 4 at the moment, so he's actually not going to be on the TV pair, but he will be on 7 and 8 and 11 and 12, which is just at the side of where we are, so you should be able to see him. Welcome to Amy Gurley. Please spread the web address far and wide. Share. We're on Facebook and YouTube this week. We've also started testing on a Skype call. We'll be doing a little bit of that later when we get a second screen. We're going to try and do a Skype call with Timmy Mack.
If it's possible, yeah.
If it's possible.
Don't know yet.
And I have heard that Bill Chrisman is coming.
Yeah?
Yeah. The big cheese, the boss, the man that owns
Did he already was in Europe?
He's in Europe, but he fell ill and he's feeling better now. So apparently he's in tomorrow morning. So
Just in time for the finals.
Yeah. So hopefully the winner this year will get presented by the boss of Storm himself. That would be pretty cool. And if we can, we'll try and get him in on the stream.
I think he will.
I'll be honest, I'll be crapping myself if I get Bill Chrisman on. What do you say to Bill Chrisman? Like, mega rich owner of Storm. You know, can I have some sponsorship, please? Can I have a ball? I think my first question will be, how many people have asked you for a ball
Yeah.
in the last year, Bill? But they are the bowlers' company. They've gone from zero to hero over the years.
Yeah, and been the market leader for the last couple of years, I
Well,
think.
can you imagine when Storm actually started up, and they had Columbia there, they had Ebonite, they had AMF at the time, Brunswick, massive companies. Hammer, they were around then. Track and Rotor-Grip were around early on, and then he comes from nowhere, you know, upshot, a couple of new balls and stuff, and all of a sudden, 20 years later, the biggest brand on the planet.
Yeah.
I bet some of the other brands didn't see that coming.
If you look around here, and most of the players at least have one in their bag. At least one.
Just about everybody has bowled
Except
with a Storm
for
ball.
the staff players, but
I've never bowled with a Storm ball. I kind of quit when just about the time they were coming out Storm balls, so I never really bowled with one. I think my last ball was a Ultimate Weapon by Champions. I had two of them, both urethane, because I couldn't bowl with reactive. Rita Wood joined us. Hi, Rita.
I mainly have Storm, so Storm Roto.
Yeah, I mean, people get Storm and they love them that much. They go on to the next
didn't
one.
bowl with it yesterday.
At least your balls smell nice when you've got Storm.
If you open your trunk, it's like a fruit basket.
Yeah. Have they brought a chocolate one out here?
No.
Have they ever anybody done a chocolate smelling one?
Probably.
They've done everything else, haven't they, I think?
Simonson's still playing with the spare ball.
Yeah, ripping it up with a spare ball. It's crazy good, that kid. Keep your comments in chat coming in if you've got any questions. As we announced yesterday, Simon and I, this is our last Irish Open. The Irish Open's continuing, of course, but there will be a different streaming team next year.
Yeah.
We've recommended who we think should take over from us, and they will be in discussions. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with what comes next year. It's going to be better. But I hope you've enjoyed the 5 years that we've done. We've enjoyed it. We've brought a few new things to the table, I guess, with the green screen. And
yeah. I hope you all liked the coverage over the years.
Sorry?
The coverage over the years, we did put a lot of effort in. And
yeah, it's been good. Yeah, each year we've tried something different.
Enjoyed it.
I think the main thing, as you know, Simon, is a lot of the streaming teams, they'll put the camera on and then that's it for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
You don't get no commentary or anything. And I don't know about you guys out there, but I find it boring. I can't watch a webcam all day. It's okay if you're watching for a particular player that you want to watch, a family member or whatever. But I think you do need a little bit of commentary, or commentary, to say it properly. Original X Factor was chocolate, says Richie Teese. Yeah, I thought they must have done chocolate at some point. Who's going to be the first one to do a beer one?
Ask Bill.
Bill. Yeah, but is there any smells that you would like to do, Bill, that you haven't done them yet?
Maybe we can make a list of them from chat and give it to him.
Yeah, you guys out there, that can be the question for this particular squad. If you could pick a smelling ball, what would it be?
We'll write them down and give them to Bill.
Yeah, we'll give them fish and chips or Marmite, Bovril, I don't know, whatever you want. Can you imagine a fish smelling bowling ball? Can you imagine the
modern fish?
Imagine going to Baltec and seeing a pallet of them and oh god, it stinks round here. I feel like I'm in Grimsby. So halfway through this first game, Gavin Fox has started off quite brightly with a spare strike, spare double. Seems to be the pick of the players. Looking further afield, not seeing too many strings of strikes at the moment.
Chris
Chris, yeah.
Starting off with front 4.
Front 4. He's done that nearly every game, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Front 3 or 4.
And on that side, we have somebody from Iceland, I think, on lane 17. Starting off with the front 4.
Just the 1-300 so far from Owen Lebioda from Ireland. Did it yesterday. 299s, yeah. Mr. Sipala from Finland and Jamie Dodger from England from Turkey Times. We're going to do this commentary for this first game, and then we're going to get James Footner is going to join us for a bit. We'll have a chat with James, and then I think somebody's going to come in with James.
3 299s. Alan Bride has one.
Alan Bride had one as well. Yeah. So 1462 leads it. Alan Bride with the Singaporean in second.
Pins.
Yeah, Bernice Lim, class player. She's going to be one to beat in the female tournament this year. Wouldn't look strange at the end to see Simonson and Bernice Lim as the champions. But I don't know. I'm going to go off the wall here. I'm going to say Rob Thirlby this year. I've got a feeling. I don't know. I've just got a feeling.
New number 2.
Ghislaine. Yeah. She had a 1430 then. Yeah. 1380. Wow. She's jumped into second place above Bernice. Tora Torgerson in that top 10 now with 1378 in the senior division this year as well. So I guess if Tora goes out of the tournament when the last 4 are around, he'll go straight into the senior final, won't he?
Yeah.
If he goes out of the main tournament.
Is he a senior?
He's a senior now, yeah. He's this year.
No. It's still named as normal. Because the seniors have the senior.
I'm pretty sure that Nico's wife said he's a senior now this year. So we'll have to check on that one.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain he's in the senior division this year.
If so, they can
or
change
maybe he don't want to be. Maybe he's he knows he can still beat these kids.
Yeah,
so,
he can.
He won it 2 years ago. 21 years apart. He won it in '96 and then 2017. In fact, he won it the year that Kira Ray was born, apparently. And Kira won 2017. Gavin Fox adds another one for 3 in a row. Going quite well. You just joined us, you're watching the 31st Irish Open. And a thank you to the sponsors this week, Storm, the Bowlers Company, to 3G, and also to 900 Global. And then our masking unit sponsors, Starbucks, Eco Hygiene, Mao at Home, Rocks Jewellers, Stillorgan Orchard, Dublin Food Sales, Cooltech Refrigeration, TGI Fridays, Glenealy Foods, Crumlin Print and the Talbot Hotel. Thank you to all the kind sponsors. One of the best tournaments on the European calendar, I think, for some people. Yeah. Obviously, it's not one of the major points ones on the EBT, but it's a well-supported event
It's
this year.
still, yeah.
It's still one of them titles that if you pick up the Irish Open title, it doesn't look bad on your CV.
No. If you see which players are playing here and how high the level of is here,
it's kind of a satellite EBT, but it's not in a sense because some of the better players come over still.
Yeah.
A lot of them come for the crack, for the fun. A lot of them come for the tournament. And a lot of them come for the tournament and don't even bowl. Quick look on YouTube if we've got any chat on there. We're running off 2 platforms this week. We're going on YouTube and Facebook to maximise views. And we've got 60 or 70 people watching so far. Dan Bonfield is in the house. On YouTube he's watching.
Quantum Bias.
And he says the Quantum Bias is the smelliest ball. Looks lovely but smells like cat wee.
Yeah. True.
Is that true?
Yeah, We had a demo day in Holland a couple of months ago, and I throw it as well. But if you use the storm balls and you go to another brand, it's like, ugh. They're just different.
I thought that were copyrighted. I didn't know if other bowling ball companies could put the scent in it. I thought that might have been a copyrighted thing.
Yeah, it's copyrighted. They can't. But yeah, you just smell the
material.
The material.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Back in the day when you used to go in a pro shop of the urethane days, and you could smell a ball being drilled. You can now a little bit. Here's a question for you then, folks, out there in bowling world. Did you know that asbestos was once put in bowling balls? Apparently, you can have a look online for this. If you type in asbestos on bowling balls, you do come up with a little bit of detail that back in the old days of the Manhattan rubber balls, some of them had asbestos in. Now, I did take that to some people in America and tell them, and they seemed shocked by it. But if you go do a bit of digging, people, you'll see that I'm not wrong. Now, Mario Joseph said at the time, that can't be true because I'd be dead. The amount of bowling balls he drilled back in the old days, but apparently there was a mix of asbestos in some of them. Very early ones, very early Manhattan rubber. Changed about late 60s, early 70s, I believe. I did a little bit of digging and I found a few stories about it. Right, question for everybody for this squad then. Of all the balls that have ever been made, which one do you want back? Which ball would you like to play again? Could be from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Which bowling ball, if they were going to make it again, would you want? I've already said today I want the pink hammer back.
I think we have two questions then. What smell?
What smell? And yeah, what smell would you have? And
yeah,
which ball would you like them to bring back? Brunswick's starting to bring back a few of the old balls. I don't think we'll ever see the gold angle again from AMF or the Ninja, or the Sumo or any of those ones, but I don't know, we could see a new blue hammer or a new pink hammer maybe.
Yeah, with the original formula.
With original formula there. A lot of players now going back to urethane. And a lot of players playing with urethane for the first time because they will have been too young to even play with it first time round.
Yeah, that's the reason the patterns are getting drier and drier, and the balls are getting more demanding on oil, and yeah, so people are going to find for alternatives, and they find urethane.
Well, what you find with people like Mr. Simonson is it doesn't matter what they bowl with, they can get revs on any ball.
Yeah.
So he just ends up bowling a lot tighter with a plastic ball and revs the crap out of it. So
and destroys the lane for everybody.
Yeah, destroys the lane for everybody at the same time. Welcome to the 300-man Paul Payson from Airport Bowl, bowled the first official 300 on string machines in the UK, and it turns out it's looking like a world record. We've been in touch with the Canadians. We found out that there's been no sanctioned 300s in Canada yet. And I checked with George Falingos from Australia, and he hasn't seen any mentioned in Australia at the moment. I've also sent a message to the Australian Federation to see if they have had one. But it's beginning to look like he's bowled the first one in the world. He won a cool £1,000 for it, courtesy of Cubic AMF. But the women's prize is still up for grabs in the UK. So any female bowler that bowls a 300 on string machines will win £1,000. Craigie Farr says, original Ebonite Apex, awesome ball. Mark, the shooter, says souvenir. Was that a bowling ball? Souvenir?
Which brand?
I don't know. If it's not the name of a ball, it's certainly a decent ball name. Bill Bullock just joined us. Hi, Bill. A couple of questions we've got going then is if you could make a ball smell like anything, if you could name the next storm ball, well, not name the next storm ball, but pick the smell in it, what smell would it be? And also, of all the balls that have ever been made in history, which one would you like a brand to bring back?
I know one. From Storm, the Prodigy.
Prodigy.
Yeah. I know a lot of guys would like that.
Yeah, definitely.
It was one of the big hits as well.
Well, I think they've had this question of Storm and they brought the high road back, didn't they? Is the high road the same as high road as before, or have they changed it?
It's a little bit changed, but it's more or less the same.
Right.
The originals were better than they came 2 or 3 years later, but
Okay.
yeah.
Tony Neal says Brunswick Blitz he wants back. Just coming up to the end of this first game, then Gavin Fox going to finish with 215 if he taps in another 2 strikes. Robert Lynn's going to finish with 173 if he strikes. Greta Forsyth with a 201 if she spares strikes or strikes spares. Or 211 if she strikes out. And Matt Hall can tap out for a 207. Welcome to Emily Allen. Are we going to see you back on the lanes, Emily? Talented English lefty. We're a bit short on really awesome girls at the minute. You could do with getting you back.
It's not meant to smell, it's the additive to in the Russian to get it that matte, yeah,
In that matte white.
Yeah, that's what you smell, yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah, I've not actually seen one of those white balls in the flesh yet. I've only seen them in videos and stuff.
Some guy next to me was bowling with it yesterday.
Is there somebody playing with it?
But it's so white, you see everything on it, so it was almost black.
It's an excuse to sell cleaning products, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
The white ball came round from AMF years ago. Everyone remember that one. It was crap. Some people liked it, but not many. Yeah, bring back the pink hammer. That's what I say. And if you can, the Fireball or the Fireball 2. Or maybe the Fireball SO. They were good. Thunderbolt, nah, not so much. And the Thunderbolt DB, worked for some. Welcome to Alexander Larson. Yeah, if you want to get some ideas of what bowling balls came in the past, though, you can get yourself off to Talk 10 Pin to our photos page, and you'll see a lot of old brands and all the equipment that they used to release. I think we've got about 200 or 300 old balls up there. The excess from AMF, yeah. A more Pinel disaster, says Dan Bonfield. Yeah, you like to see people like Mo and other ones taking a chance, though, you know. Sometimes you could do something quite radical, as he is doing, and come out with a decent ball. Craig Barrett joined us. Craig was on the stream earlier on. His dad came on to do a bit of commentary. So 171 for Robert Lynn, 182 for Matt Hall. Gavin Fox with a 205 and Greta with a 199. Brings us to the end of the very first game. And for game 2, we're going to bring in a guest. I'm going to kick you out the way.
No problem. No problem.
Got James Footner coming in for you James Footner fans. And who've we got coming on to the featured pair? Got the guy from Denmark, I think. Big guy.
Yeah, we got...
It's a green shirt. It must be Ireland if it's a green shirt.
Yeah, probably. Greg Gardner, so...
Right. I'm not sure.
No.
Welcome again to Brenda Tees and Paul Upton. Thanks to everybody that's joined us. You're watching the 31st Irish Open, live from the 18-lane Leisureplex Bowling Centre in Stillorgan, Dublin, Ireland. I'm Dom Gall from TalkTenPin.net, and with me Simon Shephers from Holland. So that brings us to the end of that game. Just a couple of players just rounding off the first game. The two squads today will be back at 4 o'clock? And 8 o'clock.
4 and 8, yeah.
4 and 8.
So we'll be finished around 11.
Yeah, not too bad.
And then tomorrow morning at 8 again.
Is it 8 or 9? You said
8.
I thought you said 8 today and 9 tomorrow, but it could be 8 again. Phil Scammell Jr. Hello, everybody. He says.
Check. 8 tomorrow again.
8 tomorrow.
8, 12, 4, and Desperado at 7:30.
Right. A reminder for you all, you UK and Irish people, we're running a competition this week on the UK 10-Pin Hall of Fame Facebook page, and it's also on Talk 10-Pin, where you've got to name the top 4 bowlers of all time in male and female, which is not as easy as you think when you consider some of the quality players we've had over the years from different generations. And some of the names you can pick from include Don Barrett, Chris Buck, Jeff Buck, Bernie Caterer, Darren Cundy, Paul Delaney. He was good. Lol Ellis, Alan Fawcett, Nick Frogger, Wayne Greenall, Richard Hood, Kevin Horton from Northern Ireland's made the top 20, which is no mean feat. Brian Michael, Paul Moore, Ron Oldfield, Dave Pond, Mike Quarry, Phil Scammell, Richard Teese, Steve Thornton and Stu Williams. One of those players is the best of all time, and another 3 of them are in the top 4. And on the women's side, we've got Donna Adams, Fiona Banks, Pauline Buck, or Smith as she used to be. Jenny Carter was once Billingham. Verity Crawley, Joe Cundy Harries, Lisa John, Zara Giles Glover, Nikki Hamilton Harvey, Gemma Harding Burden, Judy Howlett Robbins, Sheila Leonard, Kim Oakley Coote, Kirsten Penny, Kira Ray, Hayley Russell White, Meg Shaw Jordash, Anne Smith, Holly Towersey, and Gina Wardle. Some quality names there. Interesting to see if anybody gets the exact top 4s. Seen a lot of emotional entries of people that they think should be there. Phil Scammell Jr. says, my dad's then there. He certainly is. It would have been a shock if he wasn't in the top 20, wouldn't it? But then, when the database releases on Sunday, what we're going to do is we're going to release it Sunday afternoon, well, Sunday just before the final of the Irish Open, and we'll announce the top 4s and hopefully get, you know, maybe even Bill Christman to announce the top 4s. That would be pretty awesome. Aim high, I say, aim high. Right, game 2, we're going to bring in a guest. We're going to bring in Mr. James Footner, who's stood at the back all quietly, waiting for his chance at stardom. Because now what we've got is Cass Edwards has retired from the Weber Cup. So if the Weber Cup comes back to England, who's going to do the commentary? Now don't say me, because there's no way on God's earth that they're going to have a Yorkshireman in the commentary booth. And they'd be right in thinking that. Welcome, James.
Thank you.
Got in last night?
Yeah. Got in about 9 o'clock. Pretty long day travelling, but made it.
Feeling good now, though?
Yeah. It's good to be back. Missed this tournament for a couple of years now. Financial commitments mainly, but it feels good to be back.
How have you played in the event before?
My highest finish was 11th, and that was about first time I played actually about 6 or 7 years ago.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean it was far smaller back then. I mean, yeah, fraction of the entrance that we get now. But yeah, at the time I was pleased with it, so I'll be chuffed with that if I can match that this week. So
11th, yeah, anywhere in the top 15 in this field's pretty good.
Yeah,
to be honest,
definitely.
And what equipment have you brought with you this week?
I bought 8 with me. Obviously, I was driving loads.
Yeah, I saw the
of
car loaded down.
Yeah, so
Suspension's gone on the car now.
well, it's my dad's car, so
Oh, right, okay, that's good.
yeah. Yeah, I bought 8 with me. Nothing really top end. Knowing how the centre plays, a lot of friction in the front, and obviously the pan is fairly lower volume. So I bought mostly Perlized equipment with me and stuff that goes right down to the low end spectrum of the equipment. So.
See, I come from that era where you only had 2, maybe 3 balls, so 8 balls seems alien to me. It's like, really, do you need that many?
Yeah.
Are they that much different across the whole 8 balls that you cannot just bring 4 and
I probably
just make it work as opposed to...
Yeah, I probably could have done, but you always have that in the back of your mind if you don't bring what you've got, that when you're bowling you think, I might have needed that.
Yeah.
And so because I was driving the car, I thought I might as well just bring them and
take as many as I can.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What's the go-to ball first thing tomorrow then, have you decided?
Not really. I've had quite a bit of success recently with the High Road X, which won me a tournament a couple of weeks ago, just before Christmas actually, and it just rolls really good. Probably will suit this pan quite well, I should imagine, but I'll see what I see in practice and go from there. Really
work out from there.
Yeah.
Danny Bonfield says James Footlong.
That's me.
Paul Edson, Excalibur was good. Also, some of the Rhino Pros were pretty good as well.
That's way before my time.
Yeah, the Rhino Pros were quite cool early on. The Excalibur, I had a blue hammer at the time and I swapped it for an Excalibur and then I swapped back because it was just, I was doing right angles. I was a cranker in the old days with urethane, so I was hitting angles anyway with urethane, and then reactive came out and I was literally a right angle.
Yeah.
It was just way too much power.
Yeah. I can imagine at the time when those bowling balls came out that it was just something so alien to everybody. That
it kind of ruined a few players that were big high revers, and it gave people careers that weren't.
Yeah.
You know, we had a joke that Jack Smith in England, we used to call him Flat Jack, and then he became Reactive Jack because he was getting 20 boards that he'd never seen 20 boards before.
No.
But a lot of players like that came through and mastered the reactive, and then the proactive and whatever else came after that.
Yeah, it's an evolution of the sport. You know, a lot of people don't like it, or would prefer to go back to maybe the days of the urethane where, you were splitting boards and covering 4 or 5 boards as opposed to 10 or 12 boards.
Yeah.
But it's like every sport, equipment changes, gets better, gets more complex, and you just have to embrace it. Really, there's no other way to go about it, I don't think.
It's got a question here, mate. Just ask James if he's playing the Ronda Classic.
No, I don't think I will be playing the Ronda Classic. Got lots going on around that time, tournament-wise, so I probably won't make it down for that, I don't think.
And why is the Welsh Open in England? And then you've got the Ronda Classic going on. So you have actually got centres in Wales. You could still have a Welsh Open.
Well, there's many reasons why we moved it. I won't go into all of them, but we needed to, or we felt, move the Welsh Open on to a different level in terms of entrance, prize fund, and we felt the way to do that was to move
pander to the English.
Well, no, not really. I mean, to be fair, the Welsh Open used to get English entrance wherever it was.
Yeah, people travel to Wales.
Yeah. But we just felt that Stroud is such a great centre, and we felt that moving it there would help move it on.
And has it?
I think the entrance have increased from where it was. Things were quite tricky down in Ronda. So I think we were starting to gradually lose entrance a little bit. So that's why we felt if we moved to
but there's
Stroud.
potential for more events back in
Oh, without a doubt.
Wales if Ronda's going strong or whatever.
Yeah, without a doubt.
How many centres is there in Wales? Roughly.
All in all, 5 or 6 in total.
Yeah.
But one of those is strings.
Right. Okay.
Which recently went to strings. Unfortunately, they lost interest in tournaments in general. They out of the blue turned around and said they wanted £5.50 a game for lineage.
Wow.
And that was kind of the end of that really. There's a centre in Swansea, which we've never bowled in as far as I'm aware. There's a centre in Cardiff, which is there's a couple of leagues down in Cardiff, and I think we are looking at that in the future. And then there's Milford Haven, of course,
right.
In Pembrokeshire, which by far and away the best centre in Wales.
Yeah?
Yeah, by far and away. And arguably the best centre in the country.
What makes it the best centre?
It's clean, it's tidy, the food is, for a bowling alley, superb. The quality of the lanes, the quality of the machines. Unfortunately, it's only 10 lanes, so it's not
kind
suitable
of
for
ruins you
Welsh
for big tournaments.
Yeah. But we still hold the Welsh Nationals there every year, which is next week actually. And one or two other tournaments, the AMF qualifier is there every year. So.
And is the standard of Welsh bowling improving in it at all? I mean, you're not a massive country. You've not got a lot of centres. Tony Neal here says about 6 centres, so it's always going to be difficult to get big stars out of that. But
exactly.
Have you got a few up and comers?
Yeah, we've got a good YBC. I'm told at Rhondda. I don't know it myself, but I'm told there's a good YBC there. And we've got the last couple of years, 3 or 4 years, we've made good strides. Qualifying for the combined World Championships in Vegas was a big thing for us.
Got a Scotsman playing for you though, haven't you? That's why you're doing well.
Yeah.
Got a big Scotsman there.
No, he complies with the rules.
Yeah, he does.
Let's put it that way.
No, I'm not saying it's not right.
No.
Englishmen have played for Scotland before.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it happens in all sports. I mean, you've only got to look at the cricket teams and the rugby teams.
Football teams. You just
and football.
be born there or live there for a period of time. You become eligible.
Exactly.
Yeah, we did have it back in the early 80s. There used to be a couple of English players that go play for Scotland or they'd go play for Wales because they knew they weren't going to get picked for England. Not because they weren't good enough, just because the face probably didn't fit or it was a closed chop at the time. Yeah,
there's always lots of reasons why people fancy playing.
Sometimes you want a career regardless.
Yeah.
On to this featured pair, then Greg Gardner starting off okay. He's on the Dutch 200, spare strike. Bard Jensen probably the pick so far with a Turkish spare. And then Edwin van Artel. 47 in the third, and the other guy we'll get in a minute. Not doing much, but Marco Bijman, 62 in the fourth. How's Sloan Ranger doing? He's just sparing for fun at the minute. No strikes yet.
He's got an open in the first and second, I think.
And then 3 spares.
Yeah.
Simonson though still ripping the lanes with plastic.
As you do.
As you do. Who's the best player you've ever faced?
As in on a lane with me or in a tournament in general?
Yeah, in a tournament in general.
Probably the first World Championships in Munich. In our first event, we had the Americans on our lane, and I believe it was Patrick Allen and Rhino Page.
Right.
And for us, for me, that was the first time I sort of played.
Big deal at the time, yeah.
Massive deal for us at the time. I think we competed with them in the first game. Probably went down in a bit from there, but.
And who's the best player you've ever beat? In a tournament? Or been ahead of, say.
Been ahead of plenty, but trying to pinpoint one's quite difficult. I think Vienna, the Europeans a few years ago, myself had a decent result for me at the time. Managed to come away from that tournament averaging 200, and there was a lot of top players not averaging 200.
Cool.
PBA players alike. I remember rightly, Osgood struggled in that tournament, if I remember rightly, and a few others.
Gives you a bit of confidence sometimes when you skin a player in the tournament, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It means you've got something about you.
Yeah.
Steve Dalton says James Footner is insane on commentary. There's your Weber Cup voice.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So
You've got to come up with a saying though, because Cass was lock and loaded. He's locked and loaded. He's locked and loaded.
Yeah.
You've got to come up with some kind of.
yeah, I'll have to come up with something.
Would you do the Weber Cup if you ever got the chance?
If I got asked to do it, yeah, why not? Absolutely, yeah. It was, it was nothing. I didn't mean any harm by any comments I made about Cass or anyone like that. It
Yeah.
was,
Yeah, it's banter, isn't it?
yeah, it was just an observation, really, more in jest than anything else. So,
I think I won't say a problem with Cass at the end, or the gripes that some people said was he was old school. He weren't technical enough for you. He weren't, he was the colour on the stream, and the other guys doing the kind of dumbing down for your regular people.
Yeah.
And Cass was supposed to be giving the more technical,
Yeah.
but at the same time you can be too technical in that show.
yeah, I think it is difficult to get that blend of keeping the techno guys happy, but while being a bit old school for the older generation. Maybe they're watching it as well. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's an easy job at all.
No, not at all. I've said many times I wouldn't do it.
No.
I'd be honoured to be asked, but I wouldn't. No. I'd be honoured to be asked, but I wouldn't do it. This is live. That's live. It shouldn't be any different. But now you're talking about like Sky Sports and proper people, and
It's different gravy, that.
yeah. I can say what I like on this, and it's not really going to matter too much.
No.
But you do that on live TV, and wow,
yeah.
it's not an easy gig.
No.
And do we think it's going to come back? States have nicked it now for a year at least. Do you think it'll stay there for a few years?
No, it depends if it takes off in the States or not. I mean, it's the Americans, the American public, I don't think have really taken to the Weber Cup. They don't.
No.
They don't sort of acknowledge it as a
The
great.
PBA have never really covered it.
No, they haven't.
They
No.
pretty much ignore it.
Yeah.
Which I got a bit upset about last year, and I went on one of my rants.
Yeah.
Because I find it embarrassing that the Americans get there and they've a massive country, way bigger than us, but they don't get enough people kind of interested in their own people playing Europe.
No.
And usually in anything else, if the Americans are going to play or beat anybody, they're all over it.
Yeah.
So why not bowling?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So maybe this year is, it's going to get a lot more coverage and pick up, and
Yeah.
maybe
Hopefully,
we won't see it for a couple of years. And
Yeah. Hopefully they promote it, really well and get some good interest in it. And I think, to be fair, having it alternate over here and then in America
would make sense.
Makes sense. The Ryder Cup does it, and it works really well for that. So I think being on home soil, it will be tough for the Europeans.
Yeah,
but,
I'm hoping to get it back in 2020,
Yeah.
if at all possible.
Yeah.
Whether it'd go back to Barnsley again, I don't know, or
No.
because it moved around in the last few years. But it's a great event. You been to it?
Yeah, been a couple of times. Maybe three times I think since I've been bowling, which is about 15 years now. So yeah.
It's a good show, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good fun to go. You see all the pros there. You can get their autographs and stuff. And
Would you go back to normal scoring, or would you? That was a dumb question, that, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, me personally, I much prefer the normal scoring system. I don't think the world scoring. I don't think it brings anything extra. I don't.
They've given it a go now, haven't they? I think, and
Yeah, I wouldn't criticise them for giving it a go and seeing what happens. But
time to go back.
I've not heard anybody say
That's awesome.
yeah, it makes it brilliant.
Yeah.
It doesn't to me. It takes away from the excitement of 10 frame and.
It did a little bit, yeah. You got some matches where it, worked okay, but not, generally not many.
No. And they didn't promote it. That was the thing that sort of really baffled me, was they wanted to bring it in, but they never promoted it anywhere. So anybody that might have been interested in a different scoring system or learning it didn't know it was even there.
Yeah. But I had this argument, well, not argument, but I quoted to AMF 3 years ago to Roger Creamer. It needs to be in the systems.
Yeah.
It needs to be an option that you can go bowl your normal game, or you could play the world scoring on the scoring system.
Yeah.
I've been told that it's now going to go into the Cubica, Cubica BESX system at some point.
I think that would be a good idea, because it would allow the general public to actually see the difference right in front of them.
And have a go at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, There might be the odd tournament that wants to run on those rules. It's just that it's another form of bowling, isn't it? You can argue that it's the same as no tap, or it's the same as match the strikes, or it's just another way to play the game.
Yeah.
Foot long and Dom, says Lee Chatfield. Good morning, afternoon, lads. Good afternoon, lads. Sorry. Good morning, afternoon. That's weird. Have I missed anything? He says, Conor Lawson. Keep your comments and chat coming in on the 2 platforms we are watching. Oh, Daniel Bonfield must have said something really bad because he's got message retracted.
Oh dear.
What did you say, Dan?
That's basher all over.
You retracted your own message. It's not like you to sanction yourself. That must have been specially bad.
Yeah. Must have been horrific.
Yeah, some of the stuff he does post.
Yeah.
So who've we got coming in with you in a bit?
I think Mark's going to come in. Mark Patrick.
Good.
Yeah, he's keen to have a chat to people and watch what's going on.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll run this game and then we'll bring him in for the next one and see how you go.
Yeah, cool.
I want to see more people get a bit of practice on streaming now, because we have got that dilemma that if we do get it back, who's up there to get names put forward?
Yeah.
It would be nice to. I mean, Adam Michaels is one that's thrown his hat in the ring. You're another one. We were joking with Chatters to do it.
Yeah,
he's been on and done commentary before.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a fine line with that kind of TV show that you between funny and down the line and proper, and it's not an easy gig, I don't think, for anybody.
No, it's not.
I think that's why Cass did it for so long, because there weren't many other people that could have done it.
No, quite possibly.
I know Steve Gomersall did a little bit of the front of house stuff.
Yeah.
And Cass were on the commentary. Mixie, says Lee Chatfield. And then he's put, what are they? They're falling asleep ones. I don't know what that one is. Who do you think's going to win? Apart from you?
Apart from me, obviously, yeah. Well, I did think Chris Sloan had quite a good look earlier on, but he's really struggling in this game. He's on 98 in the 7th on an open.
Yeah, he's messing about
maybe he's just still
now he is, by the looks of it. I think he's gone a game and this one and he's thought, I ain't going to get now, so I'm going to do something else.
Yeah, he started well though, down the low end. He had the string of strikes. I think he finished with at least 230 or 240. So
I hope he's not giving up in this block though, because he can make good comebacks, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, this sort of condition you can really string strikes and quite easily shoot 800 for 3. It's not beyond the realms of possibility, especially for Chris.
Well, last year he played the World Cup and he was out of it. He was way out of it. It was like 24th, I think he was, and he made the 8.
Wow.
And at the time it was like the biggest jump ever in the World Cup, because nobody had ever gone 24th and made it into the 8. And I think he was in 4th at that point.
Right.
Obviously came second in the tournament, losing to the Chinese guy.
Yeah, impressive.
But yeah, he's had a good year this year with his World Championship medal.
Yeah, really good year.
Close on the PBA tour, or getting closer on the PBA tour.
Yeah.
I think he's top 5 a couple of weeks ago, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Just dropped down.
Yeah, he's definitely got the ability to win out there, I think.
Lee Chatfield, I'd be up for it. Too many people say Mixie is monotone and dull. Mixie, that's not fair, is it?
A bit harsh.
I'd make up a stream team with Footlong, says Chatters.
Well, come on, Chatters, get on the flight and out you come.
Yeah, get on the flight, come on over.
Yeah.
Come on over, let's see what your dynamic's like.
Yeah.
I think the Weber Cup should have fan commentary. I think that'd work.
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Let them have the normal commentary and then pull in somebody like Basher Bonfield.
I was going to say ban Basher though.
Can you imagine?
There's no telling what he'll say.
I'd go Graham Wilson and Chatters and Basher. I'd have them 3 rotating.
Yeah.
That could be quite an entertaining show.
Yeah. Never to be seen again on Sky Sports.
Yeah, probably. Do they still do the football fan commentary, or they've been that now? I've not seen it for a long time.
I've not seen it myself. No, I don't think they do.
Maybe somebody said something and they thought, "Oh, that's a bit dodgy.
Yeah,
we better not do that anymore."
No, better bin that off.
Letting the real people on.
Yeah.
Missed a 5-pin.
Yeah.
Scandalous.
Not so good.
In fact, you miss a 5-pin, you may as well just come off now.
Yeah, I must admit, I have done that in major tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sure some of the boys listening will remember that.
Good of you to admit it on live stream.
Yeah. Wow. most people have probably done it sometime. But
Yeah, definitely.
wasn't too good. to
Leaving
it.
one's embarrassing though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't see them so much these days because of
No.
the power of the balls and
Yeah.
stuff. Back in the old days of urethane, it was a fairly regular thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just different now. You, rather than 5 pins and stuff, you leave 9 pins.
You
No,
just
9
get
pins.
everybody running around the centre blowing the fingers.
Yeah.
Footner, you got urethane with you.
No, I don't actually. No, amazingly. Yeah, there was a bit of banter between me and chatters over the years about urethane.
What's he saying here? Currently got my bathroom stripped out, needing to get that sorted. More information than we need there, chatters.
Yeah, that's a bit random.
Yeah. But I hope you get your bathroom fixed. Yeah, and he says, I'm sure you've missed more than one 5-pin Footner. Chris Lamb
probably.
joined us. Hi, Chris. Long time no see. Are you back bowling yet?
Yeah, I've not seen Chris on the circuit for a good number of
Nah,
years.
he's gone off to make money, I think.
Yeah.
He's a clever lad, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah,
Went
he
to
is.
university and he's probably got a good job now. And
Yeah,
But a talented player.
very talented. Yeah.
Yeah, good to see him back on the lanes. His sister could bowl a little bit as well, Jordine.
Yeah, Jordine's a good bowler.
They're just coming up to the end of this second game. Going to get a couple of 200s.
Got Anthony Simonson still throwing plastic. And sheet for 223.
Yeah, 223 with plastic is
Yeah.
different gravy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hello from Rhode Island. Hello, Kenneth Lowe. All the way from Rhode Island, eh? I bet it's warmer than it is here.
Yeah, just a bit. I've heard it's snowing back home.
Newcastle, I heard, got some snow today.
Yeah, somewhere up north has been snowing, I think. Near Manchester was snowing, I think.
All right. Sure, it ain't just dandruff.
Could be.
Oh, big split there. Fan commentary is a good idea. Trouble is, there needs to be fans to get commentary from.
Fair point.
Reason I'm not there is because of my bathroom. Must be serious work then. I mean,
Must be.
because he's got a lady now. He didn't really care about his bathroom before.
Under the thumb now.
Yeah, all of a sudden now he's having to wash the bath and everything. Oh, 28 and slowing here in Rhode Island. It's colder than it is here then. Snowball fights. Yeah, one year I did want to have snow at the Irish Open. It would have been nice to have a snowball fight outside.
Yeah, that'd be
Would have been pretty vicious, but it
Yeah.
would have been fun.
Yeah.
Oh, it's her blooming bathroom though. Right, it's her gig. So you're doing it because you love her. Okay.
Simonson finishes with 213.
Pip Wilson says, yeah, leave the seat up, chatters. That's how you annoy your girlfriend. 165 then on the featured pair for Marco Beeman. 224 for Bard Jensen. 200 for Edwin Van Aal. And Greg Gardner on 3 in a row at the minute. Looking to tap out for a 238. Oh, almost a 710 from the Sloan Ranger.
Looks as though Chris is throwing plastic as well, looking by that ball
Yeah,
motion.
it does, doesn't it? Just not as well as Mr. Simonson at the moment.
No.
Right, where's your buddy? We'll get him down.
I don't actually know, he was just up there.
I'm not sure which one. Well, we'll wait till the game finish then. You can go get him
I'll
and bring him
grab
down, and we'll have commentary from a different set of people for the next game. You fans out there can tell us if they're good enough for the Weber Cup or not. Patrick Meeker's joined and Ray Cullen. Hello to you both. Sloan Range, you're going to finish with a 150.
Yeah, that's going to send him backwards at a good rate.
158 if he strikes. Yeah, 157 for the Sloan Ranger. And we're just waiting for Greg Gardner to finish up this final frame on 9 and 10. Concludes game 2. Another 4 to go, and then we'll be back at 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock today. Probably have some more guests in. We might even have Footlong back. He's doing well so far. Yeah, but he won't be in the next one because he's bowling it.
I am.
So we can maybe get him in the one after that and ask him about it. Right, you go get him then, James, and I'll get you all set up. Cool, I'm going to get a break. Welcome to Jason Burns. Who's now an executive at Leisureplex. Oh, he's higher than he was before, basically. Probably got his own office and everything. But keep your comments and chat coming in. Thomas John, afternoon, James and Dom. So who've we got on the featured pair now? Just getting them coming down now. We're not even going to get Rob Thirlby either. Rob's on 7 and 8, so you'll see the ball going down. He's bowling with one of the white ones. Is Mr. Thirlby. Skinny Thirlby. With a big beard now as well. Did you come in? Cool. Who's coming in? Who's coming in again? Mark Patrick. So we've got James, Footlong and Mark Patrick are going to do the commentary on the next couple of games or so. Maybe even the whole squad, see how they feel. They might want to do all of it, who knows. Afterwards, yeah, so do a couple of games then and see how you go, or a game at least. Is he coming? Where is he? Still don't know who's on the featured pair yet. But you've got Rob Thirlby at the side there, on at 7 and 8, and at the other side we've got Sloan Ranger and Simonson, Nico Tiampon, Tom Byrne. It is. Right, so I'm going to hand you over to Mark and James for the quality commentary on this next game. Cool. Over to you, James.
No worries.
Cheers, Don. Thank you, everybody. Good friend Mark Patrick joining me now to take you through the next couple of games. Mark, how you doing?
Very good, very good.
Good.
Not too bad. How are we doing?
How's things? Yeah, it's not too bad. So we've got Rob Thirlby in front of us, former Brunswick Euro Challenge winner.
Former everything winner, I think, old Mr. Thirlby.
Yeah, it's not much isn't done. And then we've got Mr. Simonson to the right and Mr. Sloan to the right, starting game 3.
Who have we got coming in front of us? Got Bernice Lynn coming up. Chris Matthews.
So you bowled this morning, Mark. How did you find them?
I did. They were a struggle. I started off really well. Started a couple of 220s. Felt really, really strong. Felt confident. Felt comfortable. And then missed transition completely and let it get away from me. Really couldn't really buy a turkey from game 3 onwards. We had 12.34, but I think we all know that's not going to be enough this year. Scoring isn't quite as high as it has been in previous years, but it's not going to be that low. So we've got another squad tomorrow morning. See how it goes. See how we fare. Definitely scores out there to be had.
Yeah. I think the cut's probably looking at maybe 12.80
somewhere around there. And you know, even though that's not huge, you do have to match up well to shoot those kind of numbers on any pan.
I didn't move more than a board between the first 3 games, and then game 6 just didn't have a look. Game 6, I'm going to have to move 7 boards back to the right, which just, you know, your brain can't work that quickly. When you're going to think a pair is breaking down, you're not expecting to have to move that much back to where you were starting from. So
yeah,
there's things to learn.
Yeah, pair to pair, moving every game is one of the trickiest parts of bowling tournaments like this, I feel.
It is. We didn't have it too easy because we were bowling at singles pace this morning. Because, well, as you can probably appreciate, not many idiots want to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning to bowl an 8 a.m. squad. But I was one of those idiots.
It's not the ideal time.
No, it's not. But you know, you go with what you're given.
Yeah.
It was a very stop-start because we had singles pace for some lanes, and then we had 3 to a pair on the lanes we were following. So it was very much that we finished and had to wait 5-10 minutes before the other pair had finished. But you just got to bowl with what's in front of you, and you got to make your shots, and it just didn't happen for me this morning. But like I say, we've got more to go tomorrow.
Yeah. You going to make any equipment adjustments? Any
I don't think so.
changes?
No, I don't think so. I was happy with what I was throwing. I just maybe needed to make a bit more of a drastic move. Maybe put a bit more hands into the ball, just to see, maybe play around a bit more as opposed to a bit straighter. But a few struggling to start of this game. Simonson there with the open.
Yeah,
Denise making spares look easy, as you do.
Yeah, it certainly looks on the fresh that you need to keep the break point, really smooth reaction of the break point on the fresh.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know if we can quite see lane 12, but Chris is having to really swing it out far. I mean, it's just left 2, 8, 10 there. So it's very, very difficult to stay with the transition. I mean, we're only in game 3, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's going to start to break down now, and maybe give a little bit of a look to people.
Yeah.
It looks quite tricky.
Yeah, it doesn't look too easy.
I mean, Chris and Anthony both started off with 247, and Anthony's just throwing his spare ball as hard as he can straight up the line. But Chris is certainly struggling to find transition now. I mean, last game struggled through for I think a 150 or 160. They both started off spare open, so even the best can fall. But there's definitely scoring out there to be had. I mean, Joe there with a cracking shot on lane 9. Yeah, cheers, Gareth. I appreciate that, mate. Yeah, I like it when I see you out in tournaments, mate. Gareth giving it a bit of lip, innit? Bless him.
Spin for the win.
That's it. So what are you thinking you're going to throw tomorrow? Or this afternoon?
Yeah, Dom's just asking me
ideas?
about that. I've had a lot of success recently with the High Road X. Won a tournament a couple of weeks ago with that, and it gives me the sort of ball shape I like to see. Quite a smooth reaction, but still reads the mid lane quite well. So I'll probably.
I think that's key, is getting through the mid lane as well.
Yeah, well,
if you can hold it in the middle, there's good drive at the back. But once you go out and miss, it's going to bounce up on you.
Yeah, that's it. It's a shiny cover stock, but it is a solid cover stock, but with polish. So I think that kind of blend of it'll get through the front with the shine, and then the solid cover stock will actually read the mid lane really well. So that'll probably be first out of the bag, and make an adjustment from there. I'll go up to an IQ Tour Solid if I need to, or down to Daredevil, or even a winner if I'm finding getting through the front really difficult.
I mean, there you go. Chris just couldn't quite push it all the way through. You've got to be strong through the front. You've got to keep. I think speed is key as well.
Yeah.
If you drop that speed just that little bit too much, it's going to come straight through the nose.
Yeah, very much so.
Just there is Chris's shot. Very difficult to hold the ball in the centre unless you're getting the speed behind it.
Yeah. Chris, one of the top RAF bowlers in the country.
He is.
I believe he's going to make a Team England appearance this year.
Yes. He's just been selected for adult Triple Crown for Team England this year. So well done, Chris.
Yeah, superb.
I mean, I had my go at it last year. Very, very good weekend out in Ireland. Boys are up to Scotland this year.
I remember. I was there.
You were. Yeah, the boys are all going up to Scotland this year. So again, should be another good year for them. Nice spare there from Chris, keeping it steady.
So we've got Mr. Rob Thirlby up now on lane 8. Newly signed for Brunswick just a few days ago.
Bernice doing what Bernice does. Nice strike there on lane 10. Chris needs to step his game up. This a live pair this game started off with a double, a turkey and a spare double, and then you've got Chris rolling along 29 after 2.
Yeah. Can't help thinking that they're probably
shot there from Rasmus, unlucky.
Maybe Chris with a 150 last game. He's maybe just going to figure out a few things for the next time he plays.
I mean, it gets to you. You're shooting 220s, 230s. You know, if you're able to string a few strikes together, and then any game, even below 190 now in this tournament, you know you've got work to do, because you not only are you not gaining pins over that 200, but you're losing pins as well. So it's not what you want to be doing when there's only 6 games to, well, obviously 5 after a bad game to make it right.
Yeah.
So it does get to you, but you just got to keep your head square and make sure that keep making your shots, the old cliche.
Yeah.
And try and make those pins back nice and quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. Despite the scoring pace, filling frames is still really important.
Absolutely.
I was speaking to Andy Gillespie earlier on, and he said he just missed way too many single pins and too many open frames.
That was part of my problem as well. Sparing was not my friend this morning, but there you go. But no, absolutely, you can't afford to miss, and if you do, you can't afford to do it again in the same game, because all of a sudden you need 5 in a row to get yourself back to a 220.
Yeah. So we've had an afternoon from Thomas John. Afternoon to you, Tom. Hope you're well. I'll see you next weekend at the Nationals.
There we go. As you've just seen, lane 12, Chris still struggling to find that pocket.
Yeah, he certainly is.
Leaving a 2-pin. Joe trips a 6, still looking strong with the front 4.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chop spare there, 2, 4, 5.
Got to remember that we're about 5 or 6 seconds behind the stream here.
Oh well.
There we go. That was what the order was for there.
My mistake. Calling it before it's happened.
That's it. Yeah.
I must learn to watch that rather than that.
Yeah. Last year's winner here up on lane 11, Tom Byrne, winner of the seniors.
Yeah, it's an interesting format they've got here with seniors. I can't recall. I don't think the English Open or the Welsh Open have anything specifically for seniors, do they?
No, no. It's a different format. Yeah, because the seniors obviously they bowl the main stage of the tournament with everybody else, and in the same squads as everybody. But they have their own cut. Seniors have a cut to the top 4. So it's a very what's the word? Strict cut, if you will. You've got to be right up there. I know not many seniors are entering it this year, but
no, probably not.
Still top 4. I mean, Selwyn I was speaking to Selwyn earlier. He's now down to 5th with 12.67 in the seniors. So it's still no mugs game.
No, pretty high standard still.
That's it, exactly. I don't know who the other 4 are that have knocked him down, but obviously got Tora, Nico, and Tom over on 11 and 12 now as well. So there are just a few of the names. Tom and Nico made the top 4.
I'm not 100% sure, but I don't believe Tora's 50 yet.
I thought they were saying he was yesterday.
You could be right. I just had a feeling he wasn't there yet, but I'm sure somebody on the on the chat might be able to tell us if he is or not. But
they may be. I thought they were saying yesterday he was just there for this year, but you never know.
Could be.
Let us know if you know different.
It'll be a scary thought for the rest of the seniors in the world once Tora gets out there. One of the best European players to ever be. Multiple Weber Cup participant. So we've got Joe Clancy in front of us on the front 5.
Still going strong.
And Bernice Lim with spare 4 in a row. Chris Matthews still struggling somewhat to find the pocket. And
Yeah, he is. I
strike.
think he's made a ball change, searching a little bit. Obviously, it's that point where you're not striking with one ball. So do you change? Do you move your feet? Do you change hand position?
Yeah, lots of
You've got one
things to think about.
Simonson
Simonson
up here. We'll let you watch it, but
Yeah.
it's quite an entertaining strike coming up on lane 11 for you. There we go, Mark. Thank you very much. So yes, age 50.
There
He
you
is
go.
50, so
There
he
you
is
go.
in seniors this
He
year.
is
So
indeed.
look out.
Yeah, indeed.
There's the strike on lane 11 for you. Simonson still making it happen.
running
4 in a row now.
nearly falling over.
Oh, welcome, Mario. My first ever coach joins us now from the old days in Nottingham.
Yeah, I didn't have the pleasure of knowing Mario back then. I wasn't bowling back then, but
Big shame. He was a big inspiration to the start of my my bowling days as Mario.
Yeah.
Travelled up to Nottingham, an hour and a half from where I was living, just to see him and Nick for an hour or two in the shop.
Still a great coach. Still a great coach now.
Well,
from what I
absolutely.
understand.
Yeah, absolutely. Glenn Richardson joining us. Robert Mudge. Gemma. Kim. Hi, Kim. Glenn was behind me somewhere, so maybe he's gone elsewhere for a spot of lunch. Who knows?
What have you got coming up, Mark, in the way of tournaments after this? Have you got anything big coming up?
Well, every year I say to myself, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I never do it. So I've managed to make it out here for the first time this year. So it's early on in the year. Hopefully we'll get out to a few more. I want to do San Marino, and I want to do Bulgaria as well. Everyone's always raving about Bulgaria. Just want to get out there and see what it's all about. Do a few more of these tournaments in Europe and really push on, really.
Yeah, definitely. I think the EBTs, the smaller EBTs as it were, such as San Marino, this one, are a good way to sort of dip your feet
exactly.
into
I was
EBTs.
Talking to Lee,
a bit cheaper, and
Lee Cocker about half an hour ago, and just talking about the Ballmaster last week, and he shot 1370 and he came 75th.
Yeah.
That's just things like that are just so difficult to get inspired for, because you're going over there, knowing that you're going to be paying your money and you're entering, but you've got to be, if you don't shoot 720 in your first 3 games, you're going to be struggling to get anywhere near.
Yeah.
75th when you're averaging 228 is just it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. I mean, that tournament is a bit of an unusual one, because they get something like 600 people playing it.
Oh yeah, it's a massive tournament.
It's a huge tournament, and obviously, the finish.
The finish are just
the Finnish
bowlers.
bowlers.
You don't beat them in their own backyard. But
No, the Finnish bowlers could make up probably 10 world-class teams.
Oh, easily.
To go to play around the world.
We've got a funky 6-pin on lane 8, just sneaking its way behind. Needs a reset.
Yeah, need a respot on the 6-pin, I think.
They'll be coming up high again. He has made a ball change after a turkey.
3-6-10 for Rob, which is...
Ellie, I'll pass on your cheers. He's just up for a shot, so I won't do it just yet.
And he's just whiffed the headpin.
Hi Robert, hi Mark, welcome.
Yeah,
Hope you're both well. Got Joe and Bernice over here, just shooting silly numbers on lane 10, so you've joined us at a good time.
Yeah, front 6 for Joe and 9 spare 5 bagger for Bernice. Maybe she's got a cheeky little bet with Chris about who comes out on top.
Well, that's it. the moment, Bernice is looking a strong favourite.
Yeah, certainly is.
Mr. Byrne, welcome. How are we? Got your man Rob on lane 7 and 8, so you'll see him in the wings every now and then.
Joe going high, and that's the end of that 300 run.
How are the scores looking elsewhere? Yeah, it's looking.
It's
Not many set in the world alike at the moment. It's looking very difficult to string strikes together. Obviously, not being backed up with what's in front of me here with Joe and Bernice, but there's a lot of people getting doubles and then leaving 10 pins, or just not being able to carry on that string of strikes. So it's not looking easy out there for folks today.
You do tend to get maximum punishment on these when you through the face in particular. More often than not, it's always a split.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of 4-7-10s and
2-8-10s.
Yeah. 2-8-10s coming up light, as you say. Yeah, it's not going well for some people. There we go, lane 9, Rasmus with a strike. From a not so sunny Spain. Well, I've heard we're not having it so hot and sunny back home either at the moment. There's lots of snow here, there and everywhere apparently.
Sunny anywhere at the moment.
Martin Webster, welcome.
We're going to have Bernice stepping up now.
That's it. Anthony's still stringing along. He's on to 6 in a row there, as you just saw. Oh, what a 5-pin, late 5-pin there.
A bit high for Bernice.
Just coming up high, following Joe, unfortunately, over the split.
If anybody's got any questions on the chat from me and Mark, please feel free to ask us, and we'll do our best to answer them with our limited knowledge.
Afternoon, Aaron.
Aaron Foley, I do believe that is Barry's young son, I believe. Join us on the live stream.
Here he is, Mr. Thirlby up here on lane 8 in the wings. Will Brexit happen? Pat, now you're opening a can of worms there, my friend.
Dear. don't get that started. Don't get started on that one.
Rob with a good-looking shot. Oh dear.
Big stone 9 for Rob. Pretty hard to avoid when you've got this much friction as a stone 9.
That's it. Anthony there, still going with 7.
Chris stepping up with a flat 10 now in lane 10.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing tournament, really, when you think of the amount of nationalities that we've got.
It is.
Just in front of us here, we've got
Absolutely.
a young lady from Iceland. Obviously, we've got Rob from England.
Yeah.
We've got Joe, obviously a local player. We've got Bernice from Singapore.
Absolutely. I mean, all you've got to do is look at the flags in the backdrop. South Africa, Wales, Scotland, Finland,
Denmark,
Germany, Sweden. They're all out there. I mean, it's great to see so many bowlers from different places in tournaments, and probably great for the Irish to see that so many people do come over and travel. Nice late 7-pin there for Bernice, getting the strikes back.
It's a pity that
it's a shame we can't get them back home, really. It is that little bit extra to travel, but you've got to put on a good show, and they will come, as they say. They clearly do a good job over here. We had 221 entries, I think it was, that they said yesterday on commentary. So you can't really go wrong with that. I don't know whether that's entries or bowlers.
No, that is bowlers.
That is bowlers.
Those
There you
actual
go.
bowlers.
Yeah, there you go then. So, you know, the entries are probably looking upwards of 300, maybe,
And
maybe
the
400.
rest,
So
probably nearly 500
Yeah,
if you
absolutely.
average it out at two entries per person, which is, you know, 5 times what we get in our
absolutely.
tournaments.
I mean, you know, the last English Open we had was 99, I believe. So that's it. It goes to show. It's a real shame we can't get them over. But you know, maybe one day we'll be able to sort of get it back to where it was and get the entries in again.
Yeah,
And be able to guarantee this. But I think the big thing of it is be able to guarantee that first prize, or not even necessarily first prize, but you know, just have a
just the prize fund.
a good solid prize fund again. I mean, last year was a step up from before, years before. It's going in the right direction, I believe. We had a good chat last year at last year's English Open.
Oops.
Someone just clobbered the sweep there on lane 13,
Hammered
going for a
into the
spare.
sweep.
Unintentional.
Not sure what happened there, but
Just something got in the way of the sensors.
yeah,
There you go, just seen on 13 there.
it's not, in theory, not difficult to build a good tournament. It's, you know, you need a good foundation, good centre.
Absolutely.
You know, you need good people organising it that have got maybe contacts and maybe can drum up some sponsorship.
That's the other thing. I mean, obviously, the sponsorships are a big thing. They probably drum up a lot of money for tournaments like this. So it's being able to get those sponsors in. I think, you know, they've got TGI's. You know, they've got the Stillorgan Orchard pub up the road. Rocks Jewellers, big jewellers in Ireland.
I mean, I know Rocks Jewellers is actually a sponsor of some of their regular ranking events, or regular events that they have for various centres. Obviously, I don't know what they throw at the tournament in terms of money, but you know, at the very least, they'll probably throw some vouchers or some, you know, whatever, and anything helps.
Martin, in answer to your question, any two-handers? There are a couple. Obviously, we've got Anthony Simonson, last year's winner, as Mark's just said here as well. Chris Sloan, they're on the same pair today. I know there is a two-handed left-hander down on. Oh, no, we've got Paul Grieg as well. He's down on lanes 1 and 2 at the moment. He's
Paul from Scotland.
Two-handed right-hander. There is a two-handed left-hander. I'm not sure if he's in this squad or another one, or whether he was bowling this morning with me. But there is a two-handed left-hander. And there's a Brunswick, young Brunswick lad, another two-hander. So there are 4 or 5 out there at least. And they're just ones I've seen so far. So I'm sure there are going to be a few more out there somewhere.
Anthony getting up on lane 11 through the face for a 4-6, but still good game, 263 for Anthony.
From Anthony, yeah.
That's
so
going to get him back in the plus.
Back to flying, doing his thing.
If you can get a big game like that, it helps.
Huge.
It helps massively
really,
because it takes the pressure off you for the rest
well,
of the
exactly.
game.
I mean, you know, like we were saying that we're thinking projected cut sort of around 1280 to 1300. So you know, if you can have 263. And well, you pair that with his 247 first game, you're already there. So you just don't, you know, go about your business. Don't make any more silly mistakes in the other 4 games, and all of a sudden you're staring down 1350, and you're looking very, very strong. Yeah. Just, you know, maybe try and with those other games, try and find maybe a different line, different look. See if anything else is going to help you out in the finals when you get there on Saturday.
Yeah. Hopefully. One of us or both of us might get some buys, because otherwise it's going to be a late one on Saturday.
Yeah, we've got to go some to get those buys at the moment. I think we're probably looking at 14-20. I might make you the top 8. It's not quite so high at the moment, but I know there are definitely scores out there to be had. So that's,
still a lot of
I'm going to think
left.
somewhere around there would get you the top 8. There we go, Chris. Finding the strikes. Frame 10. 2 more for him would be great.
Joe stepping up in 1 second in the ninth, working on the double. Looks to me like he might be throwing Storm Physics, one of the Storm newer releases, top of the range ball. Perfect shot there.
Great shot.
10 back.
Looking at 265 here if he goes all the way.
265 with just 1 miss in the 7th.
Oh, 710 lane 8. Wow.
Livid. Turbo livid, as Basham would say.
He's got the old fans today as old Chris Matthews. Brian Gillespie joined us. Hi, Brian. Oh, he got the bounce. He just. Oh. Sorry, I'm ahead of everybody here, but let's keep a close eye on lane 8. And he's very unfortunate there. Gives a great loft.
Yeah,
gets the bounce, but just doesn't quite go far enough. That's unlucky.
Yeah, so unfortunately, no Brian this year. He's got a few other commitments, I think. So hopefully, he might be able to make it back next year.
Oh, Chris leaving the tent, moving it but leaving it. But a solid finish there from Chris for 3 spares and a double into the 10th, so he can hopefully take that into the next block of 3 games and progress and leave the 160 behind him.
Good game for Joe, 254.
Yes, Benny's stepping up as well to try and hit the 260 as well.
Yep.
Oh, 8-10. Nasty leave again on lane 7. 7 and 8 have left some not very nice splits today. Luckily she hasn't got to go for it, but they've not been looking very nice.
So we've got Rob.
We nearly had a 7-10 there from Bernice, but luckily the 7's been tripped.
We've got Rob stepping up in a second. On lane 7. He's struggling slightly. He's got open in the 8th, striking in the 9th. So he can get over 200 if he strikes, which he...
Oh, great shot there in the first one from the 10th.
And he does. Slaps the 10 out. It's always a good sign.
Oh, Bernice has missed that 10 pin. Still 235. Solid plus game there for her.
Solid game, but she won't be pleased with that. So we've got game 4 coming up next.
Game 4 coming up, yes. Who have we got game 4? Not quite sure. Can't really see a lot of movement around at the moment.
Can't tell who've got coming up, but other than the
Barbara Sloan joins us. Hi, Barbara. Hope you're well.
Barbara watching her son, no doubt. Other than the 2 games in front of us,
not many big scores.
Much else.
Yeah, so 207 there from Rob with a 169. You know, I'm looking at a 180, 222. Yeah, so there's nothing huge out there. So there's a lot to aim for.
Yeah, like you say, if you can just put a solid block together and not make any loads of mistakes, you know, the cut's there to be had. Really, it's just going out there and executing some good shots and. Mr. Eric Garda just to our left, just about to start game 4. Norwegian legend, former winner, I believe, possibly back even as far back as the 80s. Long-standing Team Norway manager. Always brings a great contingent of Norwegian bowlers over to this event.
They have, yeah, there are a lot.
Boosts the entries massively.
Lots of Scandinavian bowlers. It's good to see them out in force. Lots from Ireland, a few from Finland, and then, like you say, bring all the Norwegians over.
Yeah, I mean, I remember a couple of years ago, we spoke
Matty
to
Miller. Welcome.
We spoke to some of the Iceland boys, trying to encourage them to come over and play some of our events over in the UK. You know, either the Welsh or even the English Open. But we never really heard back from them about that, which was a bit disappointing.
No, it's a shame. That is a shame. It would be good to get feedback as to what they would want to see to get them over to us in England and Wales.
Yeah, I mean, this tournament's the prime example of a tournament that, the prize fund is good, but it's only, sort of the lower end of the EBT spectrum in terms of prize fund.
It is.
But they pay down to 36th, which is a good number to pay down to. But there's so many other things that people enjoy about this tournament that makes them come back and play every single year.
Absolutely. I mean, it's good to connect with friends you maybe don't see very much throughout the year. Like I say, if you've got friends up in Norway and Sweden and Ireland and Finland, you're not going to see them very often through the year. So it's good to catch up with friends like that as well. Whether you have to come all the way out here for it or what, it's always good to see old friends.
Indeed.
Got Frank coming up here on lane 9, the shirt designer for Mint Sportswear. Hopefully I'll have my new one we designed back in November ready for tomorrow to show off.
Looks to be throwing the new gold jackal from Motor by the looks of it.
Good solid start there with a strike for Frank. Nasty temping on lane 8 again.
Yeah, you do get quite a lot of ring 10s in the centre.
You do. You've got to be very accurate.
Yeah, you've got to get the ball into a roll at the right spot. Get the ball to really split the 8-9.
Oh, Patrick, just that little bit too far out there.
Yeah, 2, 4, 8, 10. Patrick. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name. You might want to if you like. I'll give that a miss.
I'll pass.
I'll also
let the folks see it on the screen, and that will be that for that one.
And I'll also give the person at the bottom on the right lane a miss as well.
The Bora.
Well, that bit's alright. What about the other bit?
Yeah, I'm going to leave the last name.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Good shot there from Marcel. Tripping the 4-pin. Elise, welcome Elise. How are you?
So what have you got personally coming up for the rest of the year in terms of Team England stuff, Mark?
Well, I'm not in the team this year, mate. I came 13th in the trials last year, so I've got to sit out 2019 and watch. Hope everybody else gets on well and does their thing in the European Championships and the Triple Crown. But
are you still going to carry on?
Oh, absolutely. I'll still be doing the ESBT tour, and we've got nationals, and I'll definitely be out in the Welsh Open again early May. One of my favourite tournaments is the Welsh Open. Great format, good
former winner,
pin building. Yeah, absolutely.
2 years ago now.
2017 now. Yeah. Pete Stevenson took my crown last year, but kept it in Stroud, which was great to see.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a brilliant tournament. If anyone hasn't had the chance, the Welsh Open is a very, very, very good tournament to enter. Pin building tournament. So you're going to you could be looking at bowling 21 games and your pins build from game 1 all the way through qualifying, all the way through finals step 1, and all the way through to your round robin final. It's a fantastic tournament. Great entries.
It's in
bias is in one of the best centres in the country. So
just so happens to be your centre.
It does.
But we won't criticise you for being biased.
No, absolutely not. If you can't promote yourself, no one else will.
No, well, that's it. Yeah. No, it's. I prefer pin building tournaments personally.
I do.
I don't mind match play. I don't mind a round robin format match play, because you are still pin building. during the round. But in terms of the elimination format, sometimes it can throw out some strange results where, you know, possibly the best players don't necessarily win. Whereas pin building tournaments tend to throw out the best players over that format because
absolutely. I mean,
you know,
you can't argue with pin building tournaments. If you win a pin building tournament, you've been the best bowler over the weekend or the week, whichever it is. Because at the end of it, you're going to be looking down the barrel of 3,800, 4,000 pins, depending on how many games you're bowling, and potentially even, you know, upwards towards 5,000. And even if you chuck in a bad game or two, you're able to absolutely you're still able to rectify that by throwing in a good couple of 230s, 240s, and even keeping it steady at, you know, 210, 220 every now and then. That's gonna help you along the way.
Whereas the elimination format,
it's tough because obviously there's a lot to be said for it. But then, like you know, we were discussing yesterday, you've got you can have two match elimination, single elimination. Then you shoot 250, 250, and you lose to someone who's gone 279, 260. So you like you say, if you go in as number one seed, averaging 240 for a tournament, remain doing that, shooting 500, and you've lost. So you've averaged 245, but you've been knocked out in final step one. So that's where I think that format can slip down sometimes. Oh, lane 12, Rob Philby absolutely stones a 9-pin.
Absolute.
Was on for a turkey. He started double 9, and no doubt he'll scare this pin into the pit.
His new Brunswick equipment seems to be rolling pretty nice, although
it does. I mean,
maybe that shot wasn't the best example of it, but
I mean, Rob's one to make any ball look good going down the lane, but
yeah, true.
He seems to be happy with his new contract that he's signed. Him and Lee. Becoming Brunswick staffers in the past 10 days, so
congratulations
to them.
And
absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully they can have some good results in EBTs and maybe even in the States if they are considering playing some of the PBA events. So we had some big games in front of us in the last game, but it looks like this game's going to be maybe a bit more of a struggle for these players.
It is.
A couple of opens.
It's back to the old transition again. I mean, like you say, we're in game 4 now, and
transition's going to be.
Frank started strike, split. It's looking very, very difficult. Marcel's thrown 2 good strikes in there, the last 2 frames. But you know, there you go. As you've just seen on there, lane 9, Frank's searching for a strike shot.
Yeah, Frank's gone open with 2 splits.
If anybody wants to know how people are getting on in this squad, if they know people that are bowling and want to know, we'll give us a shout out.
Do our best to have a look.
We'll have a look up and down the lanes. We can see all 18, so give us a shout and we'll try and find out how people are getting on for you. Marcel up here on lane 9, shooting for a turkey after his open in the first frame. Oh, it's a lot very inside. He's got away with
crossover.
He's got away with the brookie.
Crossover strike.
That's what you need sometimes, just to boost that confidence again.
Just need a bit of luck.
Absolutely.
You'll never shoot a big block for 6 games without the odd lucky shot now and then. Whether it be a messenger or trip 4 or take them when they get them.
Oh, lane 8, there goes the 710. Beautiful. Welcome Owen and Izzy Allen.
Owen, local player, don't know if he is playing the tournament or not. I imagine he probably is, but if not, no doubt he'll enjoy watching the live stream just as much. Maybe not listening to us, but maybe not listening to us, but
well, no, probably not. It's probably for the best.
And welcome to Ashley Gill as well. Scottish lady bowler, sister of Stephen. She does often play this event. I don't know why she isn't this year, but welcome anyway.
Andy Watson's joined us. Good afternoon, Andy. Some very unforgiving shots out there today. You know, seeing 10 pins all over the place, but the young lady from Iceland just left a 5-7. It's not easy.
No, it's just it's basically matching up is what it boils down to.
Yeah.
You know, and if you can match up with your ball and where you play in the lane, rev rate, speed.
Exactly.
I mean, you can score well.
There's any number of balls out there that people are using today.
Yeah.
You know, there's no real. You know, there's not a lot of shiny. The only thing you can really say is there's not a lot of surface being thrown down there. But
no.
Then you've got the likes of Simonson who's throwing a spare ball. So what do we know?
No. No, true. It certainly seems like higher end stuff is not really working.
It's not really in play.
I mean, I've seen obviously Joe had a good game on here throwing the physics. To be fair, obviously throwing on the left, but.
Wow, Simonson there, just about to step up. You'll see the last of it on lane 15. He's just been absolutely ruined with a 7-10. There it is. Wow.
Below a 7-10.
Unfortunately, that is the downside of using a spare ball. You know, you've got to be deadly accurate. And he's obviously one of the best in the world at doing that at the moment. But
yeah, I'm not quite sure why, if he thinks plastic's in play for him, why he's not throwing urethane really, because I would have thought urethane would have given him a little bit of an earlier ball motion and might have given him a bit better carry. But
I mean, I haven't seen any of it so far this week.
No, hardly at all.
And even for me, that's difficult to say.
Yeah.
Big fan of urethane the last 12 months, but yeah, he does like to throw it, so it does make you wonder why he hasn't. I mean, maybe he experimented with it and it was just reading too early. You never know, do you?
Yeah, it could be.
A lot of the time you've got a bit of surface on the urethane, so it doesn't make life very easy sometimes.
No. Frank stepping up now on the left lane.
Trying to get his game going. Well, he's pulled that one as well.
Target.
Leaves a 5-pin going quickly. He's not, doesn't look comfortable at the moment, Frank.
No, looks like he's struggling with his footing maybe. Looks like he's stuck a bit on the approach maybe. And that's... So Rob over on lane 12 just missed a single pin. I think it was a 7-pin he missed. You won't be too pleased with that one.
They're the big ones. You know, you've got to make your spares. If you're going to stand any chances of your big scores, you've got to shoot your spares.
Yeah, it's vitally important. So we've got Marcel stepping up now on the left lane.
Here we go. Just seen Patrick here. Patrick's also picked up a spare ball, so you know that's two two-handers that we've seen on spare balls so far. I did see Chris throwing his a little while earlier, but I think that was while he was trying to make a few cosmetic adjustments to his main pieces. But it does just go to show these two-handers, you know, they are struggling to keep the ball on their side of the headpin.
Yeah, certainly when the transition hits, I guess they're struggling to move left because maybe there's just not enough volume in the middle to keep their ball online.
Possibly, yeah, and obviously the further left you go, the more you're going to be acting up with the ball return and things like that because they are quite high up. But it's interesting to see what different people are doing with their balls.
Rob stepping up to make a 4-pin. Which he does. Clench fist, he's pleased with that one. Bit of sarcasm there after missing a single pin. I think what would really help this tournament, take it to maybe another level, would be if we could have some live scoring
That's it. I mean, it was a topic of conversation yesterday amongst people on the commentary, wasn't it? And I think that may be the next place to go for this tournament.
Yeah, definitely. It would allow the commentary to, and people at home to watch.
Well, it would,
whoever they wanted to.
As you say, you could have the scores rolling across the bottom of the screen as you're watching here, and be able to see who's doing what. If you're watching a particular person, if you've got parents or siblings watching bowlers out here, or even just for anybody really, just to see the scores rolling across the bottom. Like you say, that may be the way this tournament can progress in the next couple of years or so. Who knows? Oh, just dropping off there, missing the 7th pin.
I know they have been investing significantly in the last few months. They got themselves a brand new lane machine.
They do, yes. They've had the icon delivered.
Yeah.
So that's what. That is obviously that's a topic of conversation this year as well in the Irish Open, because it's first time they've used it. So the oil is different from what they're used to here. So it has made the scoring just that little bit lower than previous years. So that's good for me at the moment. But
yes. They're using the fire oil, I believe.
They
which,
are,
which you know quite well, because you use that in your
We
centre.
do. We use that with the flex. The fire tends to push down quite a lot
and move it back quite a lot.
Yeah, it does. But it does break down completely differently from conventional oils and from ice as well. Yeah, ice can be very, very unforgiving, whereas fire can push down, and as much as it can spread itself out across the lane and make the pattern become that little bit longer, it does become more friendly the longer the games go, the longer the squad goes, should I say. Ice is just, for me anyway, ice is very unforgiving. You've got to be deadly accurate with ice, because otherwise it's just going to, it doesn't seem to transition very, very easily, or you certainly can't find it very easily. If it breaks down too quickly, you're going to be lost for a game. And as we've said, in only a 6-game block, one game of a 150, 160, you're all of a sudden chasing 270s just to make it back up to a 210 average. So you don't want a conditioner that's too unfriendly. But they've gone to the fire oil in their new machine. No complaints. People are saying it's tougher, but people are still averaging 220, 230. So the scores are still there to be had,
exactly.
and that does show.
The scoring pace has gone down a little bit, but that's not going to hamper people's opinion of the place. It's just, just a bit different to other years, and
Manal Hannon has joined us. Hello, hope you're well. It's one of the parents from Samantha Hannon. Hope she's doing well wherever she is at the moment. Haven't seen her for a couple of months. Hope she's bowling well.
So we've got some people struggling still in front of us here with
we have. I mean,
one double and one turkey, but other than that, it's spares and some opens really.
It is across the board really. I mean, there's one turkey down on lane 4. There's a 4-bagger here on lane 11 and on lane 13. But other than that, I mean, I can't quite see what Chris and Anthony are doing at the moment. But Chris just trips a 9-pin there to stay alive into the 10th with a double.
I mean, normally by this point, we're looking at. You're looking at needing 1400 to break the top 10. But
absolutely, but
at the moment, it's just
this
not,
year
not
that's
the
just
case.
not happening. It is good in a way that people aren't just simply running away with it. Obviously Alan being still at the top from squad 1, which is an impressive feat.
Very much so.
Local lad.
Yeah, previous years, it's been 1500. It's been
absolutely,
top 4.
but we're not. I don't think we'll see one this year.
No, I would be surprised if we don't.
Purely because of we've mentioned it before, just the way the oil is transitioning this year. Just don't think you're going to be able to get that 1500 where you consistently shoot in 240 plus, because you will get tapped by some 10 pins.
Yeah, the transition will hit you eventually.
Some light 7 pins.
And
exactly.
You'll shoot 180.
Yep. Or even if you don't, and you still manage to claw out a 210, that's for a 1500. That's just not enough, is it? So they'll be stepping up here, trying to double in the 8th to keep him on pace for a 230.
Not entirely sure what Rob's throwing. It's.
I think it might be a true motion, but I could be wrong.
Is that urethane true motion?
It is, yeah. No, it's not.
Me a little bit.
It's not that. No, I can't. The ball's just come back.
I
can't tell from here.
think it might be a black quantum.
But I was going to say, look, well, it could have been a quantum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be a black quantum, I think.
That would make sense. Obviously, New Brunswick equipment there for Rob. Brandon Roberts joining us. Hello, Brandon. How are you?
Mr. Roberts.
Fair amount of plastic going down the lane from the
There is.
two lads,
That's it. Patrick's throwing his Pepsi spare ball now, and you know, he's, as much as he's keeping his speed down, as we're about to see here on lane 9, it's, you know, he's struggling to find a way.
Yeah, it's unfortunate with things like plastic and urethane, because especially if they start from on the fresh, which obviously at the moment isn't happening, but plastic and urethane tends to hamper bowlers with reactive resin, because it tends to push oil, sometimes 3, 4, 5 feet down the lane, and obviously that messes the break point up for the people that are trying to hook the ball. So
yeah, exactly.
And it means that
not easy.
They have to make some strange moves to try and avoid that carry down.
They do, which is what one reason some people do throw urethane. Just not only they do like it. I mean, we've got Brandon Roberts here, for instance. He's a prime candidate for the old urethane, as was I, over the last 12 months. But it does make other people think about their game just that little bit more, which can make you feel better about yours, because you know that other people are going to struggle and have to really, really dig deep to play around your shot. Angie Brown joining us now as well. Hi, Angie. Senior lady, legend.
Team England senior legend.
There we go, urethane with a heart, love it.
There you go.
For the win.
Certainly urethane on short patterns for higher rev players is
the way
is pretty
it's the way to
standard.
play him at the moment, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty standard.
2017 was the big year for it. The likes of Hadley and myself, Brandon. Playing on the WTBA patterns, whether it be Tokyo at 42 feet or Melbourne at 37 feet, they would just drive from 3 board out. So if you hopped over to the right and depending on the pattern, depended on your speed of the ball, obviously, but and your hand position, but if you jumped out right and put it anywhere over 3 board, the ball was going to make it back to the pocket. It was just quite as much as we can say this sport is easy. It was a relatively easy season, but then they did very quickly rectify that with the adjustments to the 2018 patterns. They took a few of the short ones out. I think Stockholm disappeared. They changed the banks as well. Obviously, they made them bank 1 and bank 2, which I think did progress to mean that you couldn't throw urethane much anymore. I mean, I think I've seen Hadley throw more reactive in the last 3 or 4 months than I have in his entire life, I think.
Yes, Hadley's
throwing motive this week.
quite a bit.
And I know he threw motive or Brunswick out in the World Championships as well. So maybe he's turning a corner. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I get a nosebleed if I'm out by ball 3. if I'm anywhere near ball 3.
Well, it was my bread and butter.
point.
It's sort of 18 months ago, 2017. Middle of 2017. It was the bread and butter. It was where I was playing when I managed to win the Welsh Open. It was where I played through Team England trials at Tolworth and at Poole, and again at Stroud. It was no matter what the pattern was at that point, it was where I was playing, and it's what got me into Team England in 2018 was that shot. So it was certainly a lot to be said for it from my point of view anyway. But I think what they've done with the patterns now, it does make you play it just that little bit differently. Which is good, because you don't want it too easy out there.
No, I think the World Bowling the last few years, certainly in championships as well, they've been moving away from the short pattern.
Yes, I think
quite a lot, and a lot of that is because
the Worlds was on quite a short pattern.
the Worlds.
LA. Well, so you're looking at medium, aren't you? 39 feet, I think it was.
Yeah.
But again, they modified that every day, I believe. So it wasn't just the one shot they had. But like you say, they're looking towards longer patterns to make people.
Yeah, a lot of it is because of the Asian dominance of the short pattern in the last
That's it. And
10 years or so. They're so good at playing the short pattern with urethane that I think World Bowling were trying to get away from that. But the thing is that the Asians are so good technically. They're able to throw urethane.
Well, exactly.
On
They've got
virtually
the
any
resources there as well. You know, they've got great coaching out there, and it really does show in these massive tournaments.
They're government sponsored. That's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when the funding's there, you can do a lot more. Just coming to a close on game 4 now.
Yeah, just finishing up. We've got a 200 to our left and a 180, 219 and a 170, and then directly in front of us
202, but
Patrick with a 180,
150, 180.
Frank with a 180 if he strikes out, and Marcel with a 2-0, and Berg Bora with a 150, sorry.
Well, Frank with a double there in the 10th just to progress his score a bit. Go on, Chris.
Oh my word.
Wow.
Rob Thirlby stepping up on the right of your picture any second now. Looking for a double in the 10th.
Wow.
Another massive stone 9.
Two of those in this game.
Yeah. So he's
I wouldn't like to be those pins leaving stone 9s ahead of Robert Thirlby, that's for sure.
Don't believe he's missed the pocket. If he has, it isn't many times, and he's shooting 2-0, if that. So.
Oof. Clips the 9 pin. Didn't want to hurt it too much this time.
Yeah,
Matty Chambo, how are we doing?
Mr. Chamberlain. I've seen him for a little while, and if he's planning on playing any of the ESPT stuff or the England trials this year.
Not sure. He's you know, he can pick and choose what he does because he's just that good at the moment. You know, family life as well.
Indeed. Priorities change.
Absolutely.
One day my priorities might change, I don't know.
What is the oil pattern? Says Tony. It is, I believe, it is Bourbon Street. It is Bourbon Street. It's
always the same pattern every year. They've played this pattern for about the last 6-7 years now.
Yeah, it's the only difference this year is obviously they have the new Kegel icon, and they are putting that down with fire conditioner. But yes, it is Bourbon Street is the pattern. So it's your regular house shop.
Yep. So I think it's about a 7-to-1 ratio, around about 23 mil of oil, which is obviously not a lot by today's standards, particularly on a high friction surface. So
it's not, and I mean we are seeing that the balls are jumping up quite a lot. Sort of going back to our conversation from earlier, we're not seeing any surface on balls. A lot of shiny stuff being thrown.
So just starting on our left, we've got Matt Hall, another RAF bowler. Gavin Fox, local player, left-hander. And Greta, not sure how you pronounce it, from Norway, I think. And then Robert. Greta, that's the one. And then Robert Lind as well. Matt just about to step up on the left. Throwing.
Good first shot there from Matt. Got Matt telling us what he's throwing there.
Yeah, High Road 300 or basically a High Road Pearl, basically, with a different colour and different name.
Greg about to step up here on lane 10. It's another one of the two-handers we've got for you.
I do believe he's an Extreme Revolution staff player with Hadley, I believe.
I think so. There we go. Puts 10 back.
10 back. Yeah, pretty much anybody with surface is struggling to keep the ball on the lane, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
got Eric in
as you're
front
about
of
to
us.
see here, Thomas here is hugging the ball return. So, and that makes it difficult because as much as you try and here we go, Thomas is a two-hander as well, which I didn't realise. So that'll be another one for you folks. But as much as you try and get it out of your mind, if you're having to play that deep, you are that close to the ball return, it does play on your mind. I mean, I had to do it last week when we were up in Nottingham for the fours. You know, I was game 6.
I heard all about that.
I was in front of the ball return, so you know that was a whole different conversation. But Rog has joined us. Afternoon, Rog.
Paul.
Previous winner, 3-time winner, I believe.
I think Paul was on the list to play. I don't 100% know if he's playing, but quite possibly certainly the best left-hander we've ever produced, and possibly the greatest player ever for Britain. Holds the record for the EBT win.
He does. I'm not sure what he's up to now. I think he broke the record with 15, wasn't he?
Something like that. Yeah, it's in the teens. I don't think anybody's
shot there from Paul.
I don't think anybody's close to that, really, are they? I think maybe Dom might be at 8 or 9 or something.
I think it was when I could be completely off base here, but when he won his 15th, I think that might have put him ahead of whoever he overtook, which I don't even know who that would have been, unfortunately.
Right.
Dom might be able to shed a bit more light on that when he comes back on, but
maybe Rog can tell us on the chat.
maybe he can. Who did you overtake, Rog? And how many was it
have
you've
you
got now?
I assume you're playing the charity doubles at Stroud in a few
I am,
weeks?
Yes. That's looking forward to that in 3 weeks' time. Put on by Paul's wife, Charisse, and Katie Tagg. Strikeout for Cancer UK. They all came about from a tournament they did in the States. I think they hold it annually in the States, and they raised a lot of money there for cancer charities. So I don't know how it came about with Charisse and Katie, but they've done absolutely fantastic work so far in organising charities to bowl for. There are 5 different cancer charities which are going to be supported for the tournament in Stroud in early February. And I think blood cancer UK is one of them. I think prostate cancer as well is another. I can't remember the other 3 off the top of my head.
Probably breast cancer, I think.
Most likely, yeah. It's going to be a really, really good weekend. You know, there's going to be side tournaments as well. There's going to be a pool tournament. We're going to have a darts tournament on. There'll be a large raffle there as well, held over the whole weekend. It's going to be really, really good fun.
Yeah,
obviously for great causes as well. Well done to the girls for organising all of that. Paul stepping up here to try and make it the front 3. It's a big game, this game 5, because it can put you in 2 frames of mind ready for game 6. You can either, if you're shooting 230, 240, you're in a really, really good place. You're nice and relaxed going into game 6. And I know for myself earlier, it was I had 219 off the back of a 180. Which made me feel that a little bit better going into game 6, thinking you've got a line, you're looking okay. It's a big difference, if you're shooting 220 plus as opposed to 180 or lower. Mentally going into that last game, knowing you either need a massive score or you can trug along, make the spares, and your strikes will come for the last game, and you're going to be in a good position.
Yeah, it gives you a big confidence boost.
Definitely.
Make positive shots and. Matt coming up a bit light on lane 8 with a 245. Going to hopefully make the spare to keep this game reasonable.
Rita on YouTube. I don't believe Sam and Joe are here. If they were on the entry list, they're definitely not bowling this squad. I don't believe they're here. Haven't spoken to Sam recently, but I don't think they are here this year, unfortunately.
No, I don't. I think I did see them on there as well, but from what I understand, they're not playing. They may have entered provisionally many months ago, and then obviously their commitments with their young baby might have changed that. So. Gavin stepping up with a good strike.
Good strike.
Light mix-up. Paul coming up a bit light once again, leaving the 2-4-5-8 bucket combination. Looks like it's easily done to slip past the head pin.
It does. It is. If you're,
Don't
as
catch
much as you have to keep the speed up to make sure the ball goes through this pattern. If you miss to the right, you are going to be in trouble. If the ball is too quick, you're lucky not to leave a 2-8-10. So, if you leave in a bucket, that's sometimes a small mercy. Makes nice easy work of the spare there.
Good spare. Tough spare that. One of my coaches says about leaving splits, if you're good enough to pick it up, you're good enough not to leave it.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, that's one way to look at it, I suppose.
Two-hander stepping up now on the left lane, trying to pick up the 3, 6, 9, 10. Again, one of the most difficult, well, the most difficult spare on the board that's not split. Right. Covers it well.
Makes nice work. Again, though, not many stringing strikes for the start of this game.
No, very little, really.
We had
got three in a row in front of us here, but then a split.
Turkey here, but like you say, split. We have got a 4-bagger over on with Patrick over on lane 13 and 14. And we've got a 4-bagger again on lane 15 and.
Okay. Sorry about that. The slight technical hitch. I think we're back live. About to step up on the left lane, looking to get back on the strike train. 4 spares in a row. And we've got Gavin Fox stepping up to make a spare with the 6 pitch. Which he does.
Sorry about that. We had a few issues there.
Technical hitch.
Simon was able to fix. People slowly finding their way to the the new feed. Steve Dalton, Ray Cullen found their way over. Steve, one of your compats.
Yep, Steve, the centre manager / owner of Phoenix Bowl in Milford. If anybody is ever in the Pembrokeshire area and they fancy taking a look at Steve's place, please do. It's a superb bowl with great facilities.
Just had the icon delivered to them as well in the past few months as well from the Weber Cup.
Yep, they purchased the Weber Cup icon from Ross over at Bowl.
Very proud of that they were.
Yep, continuously investing in the centre, which is what you've got to do.
Absolutely, it's fantastic to see people still invested in the sport, you know, making strides forward as opposed to being content with what you've got. You know, it's brilliant to see.
Yeah, got to keep improving. Improve the experience for the bowlers and your open play customers. It's
definitely you've got to have a mixture of both, because obviously, as we all know, the open play and the public is where the money is generated, but you cannot lose sight of the fact that if it isn't for bowlers, you know, it wouldn't be a sport. It would just be a pastime and a bit of fun. Another good shot there from Paul, doubling up. Matt finding a bit of problem with the approach there.
yeah, coming up a bit high from that 6-pin. Should be a straightforward spare. Some more plastic going down the lane with the two-hander here, using his pink T-zone by the looks of it.
Ray, the scoring this morning was not massive. I can testify to that. You know, obviously, if you were with us earlier, 12:34 was my squad. Ryan Castro joining us there, right, Ginge? Yeah, as I said, 12:34 was my squad earlier, so not the best, and certainly not going to be enough to make the cut. But definitely room for bigger scores tomorrow. I'm in tomorrow morning squad at the moment. Hopefully, I'm looking to bowl tomorrow afternoon, because 2 8 o'clock squads in a row is just not my idea of a good time. But there we go. But yeah, the scores this morning were again quite low. We had Craig Barrett was 12.86, I believe. I think there was a lady who had 13 something. I believe she won the squad. But not many big scores. We had a 268. I think was potentially the squad's high score. So certainly nothing beyond the realms of possibility.
Yeah, I mean, looking around at what I've seen, I don't think there's probably going to be any 1400s in this squad either.
No, I wouldn't say so. Callum just joined us here. He's another one from this morning's squad as well. Maybe he can give you an insight onto what was happening down his end of the centre, because he was down the other end from me this morning. But again, nothing. I didn't see anything going in this morning.
Mind you, the young lady from Norway to your left is still got off the sheet for 279, which is a good score, plus 8 pins of bonus, which is another interesting conversation to have. But,
yeah, Sandy, thanks for that. No, early mornings are not my thing. We don't do early mornings at Stroud, you know. There's only one 8 o'clock in the day for me, and it's certainly not the AM. But, you know, we get on with it.
So we've got the young lady from Norway stepping up shortly to possibly go 5 in a row. Plus 8 pins of bonus, of course. What do you make of that, Mark? Is that something you're
it's not something. I'm going to go out there, and it's not something I agree with. Especially in a tournament like this, is potentially reason for my dislike of it. There are plenty of female bowlers to produce their own section of the draw. The English Open used to have until the Welsh Open, I beg your pardon, until recent years they had their own section until numbers dwindled a little bit. But there's a tournament like this. There are probably going to be you're probably looking at 50 to 100 female entries, maybe not female bowlers, maybe 30, 40 female bowlers, which is more than enough to make a female bracket. So I don't think they need and if they want, they can bowl in again, this day and age it's difficult to call it a men's bracket now because it's whoever wants to bowl.
But it's an open bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. But certainly there would be enough in a tournament like this for a ladies and a men's section for sure. But
even if there wasn't a ladies section, do you think that the ladies should get the bonus having bowling in them open?
Personally, many a time I've stepped onto a lane with ladies, and even in our Thursday night league, and I've been made to look silly by the ladies we've got bowling with us, and to put 8 pins on top of that sometimes can take it out of the realm of possibility to make a good score. But we enter the tournament knowing what they've got, so it's by no means is it a problem. It's just one of those things that's up for debate, isn't it? Really, everybody enters the tournament knowing that the ladies are going to get their 8 pins, and that's that. You can have, like I say, everyone can have the opinion on it, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. That's what they're given, so that's what they're going to take. I mean, we were listening to the live stream yesterday, and they were mentioning, one of the ladies doesn't want it, but her attitude is, if you're going to give it to me, I'm going to take it, and absolutely, why not? We've got Rob Thirlby in front of us here, just showing us the tip of his head. The one thing is that I don't like is the fact that they do get their 8 pins. If a lady does shoot 300, they don't get the accolade for it. They get the 292 because they can't have more than 300. So
that does baffle me a little bit.
Well, that's it. From that point of view, you're trying to have it on both flips of the coin.
Yeah.
You're giving them the 8 pins, but then if they bowl very well, obviously it's going to be 293 or more. But if they bowl that, you're taking it away from them. So. From that point of view, you've got to look at it as to, well, why are you giving it to them in the first place if you're going to take it away for bowling well? But
I should point out for people at home that maybe don't know, but the 8 pins of bonus for the ladies is actually a requirement by the European 10-pin Bowling Federation for EBTs. It's not specific to this tournament.
No, it's not something tournament organisers can pick and choose. It is something
purely for EBTs.
It's
as far as I'm aware, nowhere else does it. In terms of, certainly not in America, they don't. Like the PBA.
Well, no, that's a very hot topic at the moment, isn't it? The PBA and them getting rid of a couple of tournaments this year because they are giving the 8 pins bonus, and the PBA just aren't willing to do it anymore.
Yep.
But and you look at the argument there. Kelly Kulik, you use her as a perfect example. She's been making men look silly on the PBA tour for the last 15 years. Yep. She's won tournaments outright.
She's won a major tournament.
Absolutely,
tournament champion.
Yeah, she's winning them outright. So. That's their point of view.
I mean that's a classic example.
Yeah, that's the perfect example of why
they don't need. Well, certainly in that instance, why they don't need it.
I mean, there are obviously others out there as well that do bowl, but Kelly has been one of the best female bowlers in the world for the last 2 decades. But so she may be an exception to the rule.
So we've got
welcome to Thomas and Rachel. Good afternoon. We're just about to move into Game 6 for those joining us. A lot of struggles this afternoon.
Yeah,
not very many people having it their own way. Again, in front of us here, we've got 196, 178, 165 and a 200 on the nose. Just to the right is a 164 and a 176. And I'll let James read off to the left, but not a lot else going on over here.
Yeah, well, we've got basically 170s, potentially 180s, and maybe a 220-ish for Greta, and Matt Hall can shoot about 180-ish. He strikes out.
Matt Hall, strike out for a 195, or like you say, on pace for. Oh, sorry, strike out for a 205. I beg your pardon. So
certainly stringing strikes is
no,
hard
it's
to
just
come by.
Just not happening. I mean, I've just looked over here. There is a 267 on the board for Patrick and his Pepsi spare ball, but. That's going back to the old spare ball again. It's tough. It's not easy out there. 144 up there. Elko, good afternoon to you, sir. Michael. Hello, Cass Edwards.
Oh, Elko must have finished at the pub then.
Everyone's got to have a break at some point. Be back later. Trusting the cheeseburgers went down well last night, my friend. Good afternoon, David. Just in a bit of a lull here while they swap in lanes.
David CA, Northern Irish bowler.
I'm glad you got the last name because I wasn't going to give that a try.
I think that's how you pronounce it anyway.
Well, that's it.
Apologies if it's not.
Matt Hall looking to strike out to finish on 205.
Rob Harding, good afternoon to you, sir. Sorry, I've taken the place of your fellow Yorkshireman, Dom, for now. But I'm sure he'll be back on for you later at some point where you can understand each other easier.
Yeah, well, I won't be hanging around for too much longer. I've got to get ready for my squad.
That's it, yeah, well, I'm sure I'll see out this squad and then hand back to Dom for the start of squad 10, which James is in.
And back to the pros. Hope we haven't bored people too much.
Well, hopefully not. You know, we've had a bit of a laugh. You know, Sandy's had a dig at me, which is you know, standard. Gareth Greaves has had a bit of a go, but you know, we just ignore him from time to time. And it's all good fun. You know, Bash has had a go in on YouTube over here. James Footlong.
Indeed.
There you go, look, good effort on the last name. Congratulations, there you go, happy days.
Can't hear you. You've got dead. I can't hear you.
Okay, just about to start game 6.
No, can't hear you. When you move.
Move.
I can't hear it.
All right, just start.
Just better.
Just
Yeah.
start it. Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, a few more technical.
Sorry, we're having some issues here with headsets.
You back on it?
Not quite.
I've gone now.
Oh, there we go.
No, I've gone off now.
We're
I can hear you again now.
No, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
Sorry.
there you go.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, folks. Having a bit of trouble with the headsets, going back and forth.
Yeah, some more technical issues.
So yes, as pointed out, David, you've got his name spot on apparently. So there you go. Congratulations.
There you go. Done something right today anyway.
Hopefully the bowling follows.
Let's hope the bowling goes right.
Absolutely.
As well.
Oh, unlucky on the split conversion there on lane 8. So who do we have here now on with us? We've got Jack Sparks, Michael Beers, Tom Nielsen.
And then to our left we've got Marco Beachman, Bard Jensen, Greg Gardner, and Edwin Van Arlo.
Apologies on the pronunciation if we haven't got that right. It's close enough, I think. Yeah, so this is the final game. People are going to be looking to consolidate what they've done. And
Well, exactly. I mean, there's no one really pushing on, so I haven't managed to see what Anthony Simonson's done the last couple of games, but 2 of his games made 110 over, so
yeah,
we can ignore him because I think we all know he's going to do something at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've just been handed Anthony's score sheets. He's gone 247, 213, 263, 201 and 226. So he's 150 over, so he's nice and secured, as we thought he would do. And then Nico as well, the old boy Nico, he's gone 225, 224, then dropped to 170, but he had 225 and followed with a 264, so he's 112 over. So yeah, Nico is doing very well for himself as well, might even push himself up to the top of the senior bracket. That's good to see.
They're probably leading the
they
squad.
Are, yes, we think they are leading the squad. We just had those brought to us by Dom, so we think they're the two squad leaders. So 150 and 112 over respectively. So
I don't know
as we can see, that's if they both go 2-0, that's going to be 13-12, 13-50. So not huge scores.
No.
Both needing 250s and 280s to even have a sniff of 1400. So it's
I don't know how Mr. Philby's getting on.
he not very good. He looked like he was struggling, so he might have to come back and do it all again. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe still getting used to his new Brunswick equipment. Who knows?
It takes a bit of getting used to. I think he did throw a fair amount of Brunswick anyway, didn't he?
He did. We've got another one with a Selwyn gobbling sticker. Another 121. It's Edwin Van Aal. 217, 200, 222, 258 and a 224. So he's on 11.21 for 5. So that's the three good scores there, pacing 13.50-ish. Ready to push me down. Cheers guys, appreciate that. So there are a couple of scores out there, but when you're looking at a squad of 36, three in a pack, not many.
No, it's not massive.
Rob mixing a strike there on lane 1 and 2, so hopefully he's going to get back into it. Jack Sparks stepping up. Well, we would hopefully.
Selwyn's in the house.
Yeah, so I was going to say Selwyn's in the house behind us. If we heard that, gives you an inkling as to what Jack's shot is going to be.
Using a Sherlock.
There we go. Back makes it 3.
Hence the turkey noise.
Hence the gobble from behind me. Yes.
Hopefully I'll be having a few of them tonight.
Oh, Matt with a 2.810. He cannot find the back end, it seems. He is. His shots are very flat this afternoon. Good afternoon, Nathan and Fran. Welcome, half-ball.
I think Hafthor is from Iceland, I believe. Icelandic international player.
Simonson stepping up on lane 6, still using the rotor grip spare ball.
Simonson still creaming it with the
Just makes it look easy, doesn't it?
spare ball.
Another level. Oh! You're about to see something special on lane 7. And that was Simonson's shot just there on lane 6. There's lane 7. Ouch!
That's what you call a stone ocho.
Yes.
I remember about 7 or 8 years ago, I did do that on the front 11
Oh dear.
at Swindon. Needless to say, I said, oh darn it,
Oh, I'm sure you did. Yes.
oh darn it, blast and damn.
Bother, yes.
Bother, oh
I'm
bother.
sure that's what you said.
Yeah, oh bother.
Yes. Good friend of mine, Matt Ailes, is known down in Poole for his 8-pin fiascos. It's a bit of good-natured ribbing always comes his way if someone leaves an 8-pin. Front 4 there for Jack.
Yep, start to the game.
See if Mateus can do the same. Got a few on the front 3 over here. Lanes 13 and 14 have produced the front 3. Edwin. Yeah.
Top 3.
Yeah, so those 3 scores we read out earlier, they are the top 3 in the squad. Just had it told to us by Dom, there is nothing else going on really. No one else really pacing more than about 205, 210. So they're the scores at the moment, all looking to be in or around 1350 to 1400.
Which even for the standards of this tournament is still, you know, with a full squad. Previous years, you know, you would have multiple bowlers 1400 or more.
Yeah, and now getting squads with not even one. So maybe it is progressing. You know, it's good to see it to be a little bit more difficult, because you don't want things too easy. Because like you say, then you have the issue of the ball master, and you're shooting 1370 to not even make the top 70. So.
Yeah,
that to me isn't much fun.
And also, where you've got obviously the same people coming back nearly every year, it means that, you know, all they just have to do is show up.
Yeah.
Previous years. Whereas if the lanes are a little bit more difficult, doesn't necessarily mean they'll score less, but it means they've got to think about it a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, maybe use a little bit of different equipment, or play the different part of the lane, and that to me is only good.
So we've got Jack coming up here for the Yahtzee for the front five.
Dear. And that looks wide.
That has gone wide. Washes out. Unlucky.
2, 4, 10, Jack. Makeable spare. We'll slide the head pin over across to take out the 10 pin. And that is also too far right. And he just gets Right, I think I'm going to disappear.
Okie dokie, yeah, have a good squad later. All the best.
I'm going to grab a little bite to eat before I start my squad.
That's it. Get the energy in there.
Yeah,
ready for the 4 o'clock squad.
Yeah, get some equipment prepped, and I'll leave our viewers in your capable hands.
Well, thank you so much.
No doubt, Dom.
There you go. Gareth's back, so I'm sure we're in for a good conversation.
Oh, lovely.
Or lack of. Mr. Maddock, welcome.
I shall hand you over to yourself and either Dom or Simon. One of the two.
there you go. We'll get one of them back on shortly, I'm sure.
Yep,
good luck.
Yep. Thank you, mate. See you later on.
Will do. So, just down to me. So, down to you folks to keep me entertained, I reckon. Get your conversations in. Dom and Simon will probably come and join me at some point soon for the last half of the game. Mateus there, getting the Yahtzee for the front five. Unfortunately, Jack couldn't spare his washout. Craig, good afternoon. You've joined us halfway through game 6, so not much longer left, unfortunately, of this squad. No need, some of us are stuck at work. Well, isn't that a shame, Gareth? I mean, I feel for you, bud. Really do, really do. Can Jack get back to it? No, not quite. No, comes high this time. Overcompensation there, we think. Leaving the 3, 6, 9, 10. Good shot there from Greg on lane 8. He liked that one. Paul Loberman joining us. Good afternoon, Paul. Oh, just biting a little bit at the end there for Mateus, leaving him with a 4-pin, stopping his string of strikes at 5. We've got a few more string in this game. As Turkey over on lanes 5 and 6. We've got the front 5 also from Marco on lanes 7 and 8. We had obviously the front 4 and front 5 here on our feature pair. Looking down to the right, there's not quite as much, but we'll keep you informed with how Marco gets on. He is just stepping up now on lane 8, so we'll see how he goes on for frame 6. Aaron, en route to the ferry. Well, all the best. Yeah, safe travels. We'll see you over here shortly, probably in the next few hours. Don't know whether you're in the squad this evening or maybe tomorrow morning, but safe travel over from Holyhead, and we'll see you shortly. Certainly, what I did all of yesterday when we were on the ferry from Pembroke to Rosslare was watch the live stream with Dom and Simon, so it made the journey that little bit more painless. He has. Yeah. He's left me on my own. There we go, look.
Right.
Dom is back.
Hey, Mark.
How are we?
Yeah, not too bad. What have I missed?
Well,
everything.
Everything. Oh, he's been for a nap, have we?
So it looks like it's Simonson.
It is, yeah.
Nico or the other guy,
Edwin.
Van Arlen. Edwin, yeah.
Edwin. I mean, we've got Marco here on the front 6 as well, game 6, so I don't know what he's really pacing, but
yeah, I don't think he had much.
Is this just going to bring him up into the mix?
Possibly. I think it looks like it's going to be Simonson.
It is.
He's
yeah, I mean, like I've been saying with James, there's not a lot of string in this squad. It wasn't many high scores this morning, but it just seems to be struggling to get more than that 3 or 4 in a row.
I'm just speaking to Rob Thirlby down the bottom end, and he says they're playing dry.
Very, yeah, they were. Unless you could, I had the same this morning. Unless you could get through the heads, you were going to be in trouble. Because it was either going to, for some strange reason, if you were too slow, if you were too fast, it was still going to check up, even if you were going missing to the right.
Yeah.
So they are very, very dry. You've got to put a lot of power into the ball, but still maintain that consistency of a shot.
Yeah, it's going to make for an interesting tournament.
Certainly is,
If the conditions playing differently.
Yeah, certainly same with James. It's good to see that it's not quite so easy going as previous years.
Yeah, because you've got them good players that know they're going to play well then. Now they're not so sure.
Exactly.
Opens it up for everybody, doesn't it, really, I guess?
Yeah, definitely does. And, knowing that, I was speaking to Lee Cocker earlier, he shot 1370 at the Ballmaster last week and he finished 75th.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those, it's just you can't find much fun in a tournament like that.
Not really, no. When you have to hit 14-20 to get in the cup.
Exactly. That's not my idea of a good time. If you shoot 220, you're off the pace. You just think, hang on a minute, there's something not quite right.
Backwards with the 219, aren't you?
Yeah,
effectively. You've got front 7 though from Marco.
It is. Simonson didn't like that shot, but nevertheless, it goes in for him.
Yeah.
Not doing a lot wrong at the moment.
Keep your comments in chat coming in. Who have we got watching?
Absolutely.
Lobbers is in. Paul Loberman.
He is. Just joined us.
You should come back to bowling lobbers. You were quite good. I say quite good. You were really good. And then you went off to make your millions. A few strikes on the featured pair though. 279 from Mateus.
We had the front 4 and the front 5.
Jack Sparkles. What a cool name.
Sparky. Oh. Marco stepping up here on lane 8. Looking at the front 7 at the moment. Can he make it 8?
It just comes up high. Through the face, as they say.
Oh, that was for Edwin, that one. Marco's on 8.
Oh, is that wrong guy?
Yes, yeah, wrong one. That was one of our top 3 at the moment. That was Edwin. So he's struggling again. Look, see, it's very difficult to keep it going for those 6 games, it seems, today.
Yeah.
He's shooting on pace for 13-12 with a 2-0, and he's on 112 after 6. So it's not all glory.
Beeman's the guy that missed the 5-pin earlier as well.
Oh dear.
Oh, he's looking better.
I don't know if you heard the cheers there, but Marco is about to go on lane 8, so that gives you a bit of an idea as to what he's about to do.
Yep, 8 in a row for Marco. Yeah, definitely looks like Simonson's going to take the block. He's still ahead of Nico. Nico was the closest.
Oh, he just comes up high there, leaves a 6-pin.
We've got the virtual studio all set up, ready for the interview with a squad winner. It looks like it's probably going to be Simonson, unless we've missed somebody on the way down, but there didn't seem to be any other scores other than those three. A lot around the 200 mark.
Simonson backing up to spare his 6-pin there. Not phased by any of it, obviously.
Nah, he's cool as a cucumber most of the time, isn't
Here he comes in front of us.
Right, so just about the end of this last game of the Squad 9, is it? Squad 9, I think?
Squad 9, yeah.
Squad 9. Thanks obviously to Mark and James for commentating on this squad.
Yeah, it's been,
hope they've done a good job for you.
Different. Well,
Sure
hopefully, yeah. Not bored too many people to sleep, I hope.
Well, it's nice to get a different voice. You don't want Yorkshire all the way through it.
Well, I said, I mean, we had Rob Harding join us a minute ago. I said maybe if he sticks around, you'll be back so you can communicate with each other a little bit.
Yeah, he'll understand the commentary.
Yeah,
more.
that's it, exactly. You'll know what you're on about.
I don't know, I can't understand the Sheffield people say, but very Yorkshire, Sheffield.
Yeah.
How's that doing? Oh. Sloane's had an indifferent block.
He's been very up and down, hasn't he? He looked lost in game 2 and 3. He just couldn't buy a strike.
Yeah, it was 250 down the bottom end there.
Yeah,
he's kind of
so he picked it back up a little bit. But
yeah, he's throwing some big ones, and then he's had 170s and 180s
yeah,
in there as well.
He can't be pacing much more than par, if that really.
Yeah.
Oh, he did have 240 first game with Simonson, 247, 247.
Yeah, he's had a 240 and a 250, and
Yeah.
then a couple of 180s and 70s sort of thing. And whatever he gets here.
Oh, good shot here from Jack, coming up with the split conversion. Well, not split, but
so
conversion.
Beeman's up again.
Seconds, I'm sure.
You're all right for commentating. It reads. It's just that's late. The audio
there you
at
go.
the same time
Okay.
anyway. It's just after a while, after about 6 games, it gets to about a couple of minutes behind on the actual thing. But the audio should still sync.
Okay.
Yeah, front 9 for Marco.
Looks comfortable. He's now up in the 10th.
Pressure now, innit, when you get to the last 3.
That's it. I mean, we were talking yesterday when I can't remember who it was that shot the 300 yesterday.
Oh yeah, Owen.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. You know, we're listening to you talking about the pressure when the pressure shots come in, and talking with James.
Yeah, we
I'm
can
just
spin
saying,
the camera around
for me, it's the 7th and 8th that really make that difference. If you can hit the 9th and maybe even the first one in the 10th, you do feel just that more comfortable with the shot. Try and spin the camera over now for Marco so we can get the
that one. Yeah.
He'll be up on lane 8 for his 300.
Tight, isn't it? Right, so Marco front 9.
Here we go.
Marco Ducci. It's Marco Ducci.
Oh, compatriot shows him the way.
Why have all the Dutchies got Italian names? Right, first one in the 10th. Make a good shot, Marco.
Here we go, up on lane 8 now. He likes it.
Not bad.
It's gone! 2 trips 4s in a row. Loves it.
Yeah, didn't like it himself, turned away, and they're all telling him, "Yeah, drop."
One of those, he looks like he likes it off his hand, and then it just checks up at that last minute.
Yeah.
And then whatever comes through, comes and takes that 4-pin.
Comes and rolls round. Right, another 2 for 300, second one of the tournament if we get it. Couple of 2.99 so far.
Edwin shows him the way again. So Edwin sticking with his 13.30. I think he might be on.
Yep.
So he'll be nicely in there, we think.
I would think so. Yeah. Anything over 13 is looking good at the minute.
Yeah, we were thinking 1280 to 1300 is going to be your line, I think.
All right, second one in the 10 for Marco Beeman. Or Beeman.
Here he goes.
He's got it out.
It's come up
jumped
far
up.
too high. Leaves
Big
a big
four.
four. Unlucky.
Good effort. Jink to the camera once again.
Oh, of course, commentator's curse.
We're just waiting for Mr. Simonson to finish. He's only going to finish with a 2-0 by the looks of it. But Nico's not going to beat him by 30.
Not
so
even 190. Yeah. So Simonson there dropping to if he spares this and strikes, he'll go down to 1342. Still very respectable on this pattern, and with a spare ball, even more so really.
yeah. I don't know if he misses this though, and Nico strikes out. It's
What's
actually
Nico
quite
on?
close.
What's he looking?
He was
He's gone back up to spare it. Yeah, 610, nice spare.
120 over, and Simonson was 150 over. So you were 30 sticks there, but he's picked up his spare. So Simonson's going to take the block. So we'll go down in a minute and get him to come up, have a quick chat with him. And your featured pair's just about to finish. Michael Bears finishes with a 2.13. Matthias Rennertson with a 2.35 if he strikes out. 186 for Jack Sparkles, and Tom Nielsen with a 1.31 with a frame to go. Tom, last year's
nice
senior winner. Are you on in the next squad then, you and James?
No, James is on. I've bowled this morning. I'm done now till tomorrow morning.
Right.
Well, hopefully tomorrow afternoon if people drop out.
So what's your best score so far?
12.34.
12.34.
So not enough, unfortunately, this morning.
Yeah,
felt good. Felt good first thing.
Another 100 on that then.
That's it, exactly. Like I say, felt good. 227, 223 start, and then I just couldn't find many more. Strikes seemed to elude me after a double. I'd either tap a 10 pin or just come up that little bit light and leave a 2-5, something along 2-4-5, something like that, and then I just missed a couple of 10 pins. It was way almost enemy in that respect. I missed 6 makeable spares, so that's the 70 pins that you're looking at to make the cut. So
yeah,
the scores are certainly out there. So I'm quietly confident going into tomorrow morning, but we'll just have to see what we can make.
Edwin Van Aale finishes with around about 13.50 then, I think 13.40ish. 2.12 last game.
2.12.
The 192 from Simonson still takes the block, I think.
Yeah, it'll be 13.42. I think that puts him on. Edwin, I think, was 11.12. So I think that'll move him on to 13.24.
17, yeah.
And then I think it was, like I say, Nico was on 124 over. I think he was. So
yeah, and he's going to
be 190 as well. So he'll be on 13.10 roughly, 13.15.
Yeah, not a massive squad.
No 1400s again, so
no.
Alan's staying top from squad 1.
Yeah, we're getting 1 or 2 each day, kind of jumping into the top 5, but no more than that.
No, it'll be very interesting to see what that top 8 buys are going to be this year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Right, I'm going to nip down and have a quick word with Anthony and get him ready for.
Yes, well,
come up for the
I'll
interview.
say cheerio. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks very much, Mark.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, if you want to come in again and do some.
Yeah, well,
nice to have a break.
If the people want me back,
Yeah, the people.
What time's Ray? The next squad is 4 o'clock, I believe.
4 o'clock, correct?
Yes,
yeah.
4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll bugger off and leave everybody to it.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
See you later.
Thank you.
Cheers, bud. Yep, we're going to flip on to the Irish Open board, and then we'll have Mr. Simonson in a few minutes' time. So we're back in a minute. We're just going to set it all up. Don't go away. Right, we're coming back in now. A little bit more. You hear me okay, Mr. Simonson?
I might need to turn it up just a smidge.
A little bit more. So I can hear us okay.
There you go.
There you go, Anthony. 1340 odd, 1330?
Yeah, 1342 or 3, something like that.
Did you find them any different from the last block you went on?
Uh,
Rob Thirlby was saying they were a bit drier today.
I played them a little bit different.
You played with plastic, so you know what I mean.
They are hooking quite a bit more this year than I felt like they were last year. Being that I used the plastic ball, I can't really tell how much overall. But I mean, just watching, you can see how much the balls are actually hooking a lot more down lane this year than they were last year.
Do you think you're going to go through most of the tournament with plastic then at the moment?
Well, probably on the fresh more than likely. I feel like I can bowl a big game anyways, and then just kind of take it, see what happens throughout the block, whether I need to bowl a really big game or bowl a couple big games, and just kind of decide from there. It'll be basically a coin flip.
Did you play with the plastic all the way through then, or did you change
the last
slightly?
couple frames I couldn't beat my previous score, so I threw a couple other balls just to
see what happened.
Just see what they would do.
How long are you in the country? Yeah, you till the end of the tournament. Leaving Monday. And back to the States.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on coming. And I talked to Chris Sloan, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm going back to bowl the Irish Open." I'm like, "Wait, we can get over there and make it back in time for the stop in Loving?" And he said, "Yeah," and I was like, I got some extra miles. I guess I'll come over.
come over for the cheeky 4,000 euros if you can.
I have a good time. It's one thing I noticed about this.
I'll be honest. I was surprised to see you, and Chris for that matter, because you've been all around the world recently. You were in the States last week, and then you were over at the Ballmaster, and then you're back to the States for a swing of events.
Yeah, we had 2 events in the States: the Hall of Fame Classic, and then I think it was like the Oklahoma Open, along with the Mark Roth Marshall Holman doubles.
You had a great year last year, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
Three titles and this title and
a
few other.
Yeah, a couple other international wins.
In and around
made some shows around the world. So it's a pretty good year. This year's not off to a good start. We're 0 for 2 on the tour season, but we got a long season ahead, and I'm looking forward to it.
And financially, it was a good year for you last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Does that take the pressure off you a little bit now?
There's never really been any pressure. I'm doing what I love to do, and getting to travel around the world, which a lot of people can't say that. And get paid to, making money doing what I love to do. There's really no pressure involved in it.
How do you stay hungry?
I love to bowl. I mean, just my love for the game. Growing up, it's all I did. I bowled and I played a little bit of soccer, but just my passion for the sport and always wanting to. Always growing up, watching the guys, bowling on Saturdays, ABCs. It's I want to be there.
That's what you would have done.
Yeah, it still feels
surreal in a sense.
Yeah, almost like a dream when you're looking left, looking right, and you've got guys that are been up and coming for the last few years. Hall of Famers, Belmo, Pete, Norm, Barnes, all those guys. You're looking around and you're just like, wow, I grew up watching most of these guys, and who would have thought 10 years down the road I'd be bowling.
How's it changed from the first few events to now, where he settled into the PBA tour? You're not star watching all the time now.
No, it's never really star watching. There are still some guys you just watch bowl that you're just like, how do you not watch them throw the ball? But I think just from learning, just getting out and experience, the transition's a lot different than typical events. For the most part, everybody's playing the same part of the lane to start. So just understanding how the lanes break down, understanding, when you're following certain people, what happens to the lanes, and really just making sure that I'm staying well aware of everything going on to try to pick up as much knowledge as possible.
Do you feel like you've become a better player since you've been playing in the world a little bit more? I mean, you were good in the States, but then you start coming into the world.
Yeah, it's a whole new experience, different bowling environments, different competitors. So really, anytime I'm bowling, I'm trying to learn. So being that, you see different tricks work in, different parts of the world, and learning, what those are and how to make use of them has really been helpful.
And Weber Cup coming up this year.
Hopefully.
Fancy your chances again?
Yeah, it's unique. Jacob's striking a lot. He's got a pretty
looks
good
like
head start.
He's gonna get the at the moment anyway.
We have quite a few events left, and there are 2 picks. So we'll see what happens. I'm just gonna hope for a good
crossed,
year. Yeah. And if I get to be there and compete, I'll be there. And if not, I'll more than likely be there and supporting.
What about Team USA? Not really seen you on Team USA too much yet.
No, not 100% sure if I'm gonna be on the team. Maybe something down the road. I'm thankful enough to have access to the facility anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of one of those things that there's a fine line of whether You decide you want to go bowl trials. And submitting a resume is nice, but I would like, if I'm going to be on the team, I'd like to bowl my way on.
Yeah.
Just
earn the spot.
The feeling, the feeling of being on the team is still there, but the feeling of every year bowling your way on is just something special.
And goals for this year, just to strike a lot and pick up a few titles again?
At the beginning of the year, player of the year is always, it's everybody's goal when they first lace up. Really just want to get into bowling well, and I feel like I'm one of those guys, as well as a lot of the guys on the tour. The more weeks we bowl, in a row, the sharper you get. Yeah. And I don't know if I can get any more unsharp than I have been the first 2 weeks. So we'll just kind of progress.
And comfortable with the rotor grip range at the moment?
Yeah.
New balls coming out and stuff?
Yeah, idle pearls. I've basically been throwing the same stuff for a while. Kind of shuffling around. It's basically been, it's been like idle, phase 2, Reckham. Kind of been the 3 that go everywhere.
Yeah.
They kind of my benchmark balls. I know that I can drill balls around those if need be.
Yeah, they benchmark balls for you. Yeah. You've had a great year. You can have another great year. It's been great to have you in again. It's nice to see the defending champion come back. We really appreciate you making the effort to come back, even though it's it's an in and an out. And
it's a pleasure to be back, and I'm hoping we can have another good year.
Good luck in the rest of the tournament. Well, we're going to see you in the top 8. Where, we don't know, but good luck. Hopefully you make the final again, and we'll see you and chat to you again, hopefully.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Right, that's it for the block. I've got the wrong one. That's it for the block. Hope we did a decent squad for you again. We had Mark Patrick and James Footner for the whole of the commentary, or just about all of it anyway. They did a good job. We'll be back at 4 o'clock for the next squad. So we'll see you then. Thanks for watching and goodbye.